takes aim at guns core.
The following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Husky Stadium, the largest crowd ever to see USC and Washington here in the battle in Seattle. In this corner, a 13-time Rose Bowl participant looking to return after a 2-year absence. Wearing the purple helmets and gold pants, the Dogs, the Washington Huskies.
This is a journey.
And from Los Angeles, California, a 19-time Rose Bowl winner seeking to regain the glory that's eluded them since 1990, wearing the cardinal and gold, the men of Troy.
Time for some action. Come on.
It's 4 quarters of football, with the winner assuming the top spot in the Pac-10. Now let's tee it up and get it on. It's the battle in Seattle, as ABC Sports College Football and the Pac-10 feature a matchup between the Trojans of USC and the Huskies of the University of Washington. And the standings in the Pac-10 show you that both USC and Washington unbeaten in conference play, and Oregon, the defending champ, with just 1 loss. And hi, everybody. Along with Dick Vermeil, I'm Roger Schweible. Dick, after 2 years of probation, Washington eligible for the Rose Bowl. They need a big game today from Damon Huard. Can they get it?
Well, Damon Huard is right now playing his best football. He's improved an awful lot. As you can see by this graphic, he's improved his completion percentage up 10% over last year. His touchdown ratio, interception ratio is much better. I think he's prepared to play his best football right now.
After the loss to Notre Dame last week, USC will look to the big man, Keyshawn Johnson, today.
Well, everybody knows he's a great receiver and makes a great contribution to the passing game, but he makes a great contribution to the run defense as well. They have to remove a run defender to help cover this guy.
We'll be back with the tail of the tape, but first, let's go to New York and John Saunders. John?
Thanks a lot, guys. Other regional action we'll be covering here on ABC Sports, including Nebraska, #2 team in the nation, the chance to move up if they impress. Florida State is idle this week. They face Colorado. Florida, they have a chance to become the #2 team in the nation if Nebraska stumbles. They play Georgia today. We'll keep you up to date on all the games. Your kickoff is up next.
They were really growing up fast. Too fast. All Kelly talked about was going to high school, and all I could think about was paying for college. Sure, I played around with a few mutual funds, but I was no expert. So I started talking to someone who could help, a broker at Dean Witter.
We must plan for our clients' future as if it were our own.
Funny, kids think their parents always have the right answers. I'm just making sure I do.
We measure success, one investor at a time.
Every day, we all find a way. A promise made, a promise kept, giving it our best.
America's most complete source of auto parts, a national warranty program, and customer service only Napa can give. No wonder more people trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
What's the latest?
No news.
Satellite imagery. Aviation forecasts.
Still waiting, sir.
The high-tech training of the weather crew is critical to over 5,000 sailors on this carrier.
Any word yet?
No, sir.
Right now, however, their expertise is important for a different reason.
This just in. Weather for our Liberty in Honolulu will be sunny with temperatures in the 90s.
For more information about high-tech training all over the world, call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
Introducing an Alka-Seltzer that goes where no Alka-Seltzer has gone before. New Alka-Seltzer caplets. Now you can get fast relief for acid indigestion or heartburn with headache in an easy-to-swallow caplet. Anytime, anywhere. New Alka-Seltzer caplets.
Okay, now don't get Grandma too excited.
She has been running on the same Duracell battery since the Ice Age.
Wow, those Duracell batteries sure do last. You can't top the copper top.
Well, with more for this knockdown battle, let's check in with our heavyweight, Jackaroo.
Well, Roger, let's take a look at the tail of the tape for this heavyweight contest. When you take a look at records, well, they're fairly evenly matched. USC and Washington all having losses, but in title contention, they're undefeated in their chase for the Pac-10.
And Leon Neal on the return, knocked out at the 35-yard line. So Neal, after a 3-week absence because of a turf toe, will be returning kicks today. He'll also see some carries in the backfield as Washington with good field position. So Damon Heward leads the Huskies out, and Dick, 8 touchdown passes on the year.
And only 3 interceptions. He has to have his best game today.
1st and 10, they spot it at the 36-yard line. Lone setback is Sheehy, and the quick toss to Janoski at the 39-yard line, pickup of about 3.
Gain of 3.
And the Chili's backs and receivers for the University of Washington, and Sheehy averaging nearly 6 yards a carry.
196 versus Stanford. He's going to have that kind of game today.
And we mentioned Neal. He'll carry the ball 10 to 12 times today. By the way, USC won that toss. They deferred, and Washington received, so they've got it now. 2nd down and 7. 39-yard line. Thomas is the fullback. And Sheehy gets the ball. Nice job of stepping up the middle to the 44-yard line. Mark Cusano made the tackle. And the offensive line, you look at Patrick Kessie right there. He is a big one. Somebody's got to block Darrell Rusker.
Well, he's capable. He has 21 starts. He has the experience and know-how.
He's got a lot of hair, too.
Doesn't slow him down. I wonder if anyone ever grabs a hold of it out there.
I don't think so. 3rd down and 2. Sun starting to come out here in Seattle. And head coach John Robinson of USC, his 3rd year back at the helm of the Trojans. Here, looking across the middle, that's Sheehy, and he's got the 1st down. Brian Haas there on the tackle. Defensively, Kennelly is a big man up front with 4 sacks this year.
Also an outstanding student, all Pac-10 in public administration. 3.7 GPA. Bright defensive lineman.
And they're going to bring the markers in. Looked like he got enough. Just needed to get to the past the 46-yard line. And he does have it. So Washington with the 1st down. And Jim Lambright in his 3rd year as the head coach, longtime assistant and former player here. Dick, he's been involved in a lot of football games here at Washington.
37% of the games played.
They
in
played
the
over
history,
900 games.
Played over 900 of them, and he's been involved in 37% of them. That's good.
1st and 10. They'll swing it to Sheehy out of the backfield. Sheehy eludes a couple tackles, and he gets to midfield. The tackle by Quincy Harrison. As we check out the secondary for the Trojans. And Sammy Knight on the year, he has got 42 tackles.
You'll see Sammy Knight up playing outside linebacker in a 4-3 look today. Changing up a little bit. Learned a little bit about their defense last week against Notre Dame. Talking about what they have to do, keep Deshaun Johnson's yards after a catch to a minimum. He's a great runner after a catch. Convert 3rd down situations. They haven't been doing a good job and end up busting turnovers.
On 2nd and 7, Sheehy breaks it to the outside. Now he's got to turn the speed on, and he's driven out of bounds Collins inside the 15-yard line. Jesse Davis prevented the touchdown.
Well, Rashawn Sheehy has that speed. You know, he's been gaining confidence. We did the Notre Dame game a few weeks ago, and it was his first start. There he is, middle of your screen, number 1. Good block on the left-hand side by the tight end, Ernie Conwell, number 82. He gets a hook block right there. He bounces to the outside, accelerates now. Great speed, great speed.
39 yards on the pickup. And there's the sophomore from Bakersfield who stepped up that day against Notre Dame, got his first college start, and had a big, big day.
They've been very good in the red zone offensively down here. 24 times, scored 16 touchdowns. That's a very good percentage of touchdowns.
Coleman's the man in motion as Neal is checked into the game at tailback. And Leon Neal gets the football, running to the left side, inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line, where Scott Fields made the tackle.
Here's what I was talking about in the red zone. See that? Scored 21 of 24 times, 88% efficient. But the big thing is 16 touchdowns. Outstanding job. Good coaching job by the offensive staff. Defensively, USC in the red zone. They've had opponents down there 18 times. They've given up 12 touchdowns. 12 scores, rather, only in 10 touchdowns. Too high a percentage of touchdowns. Today, they want to force them to kick the field goals.
That 39-yard run was the longest play against USC this year. As on second down, Thomas, the first man through, this battering ram of a fullback. He's only 5 feet 8 inches tall, 220 pounds, gets it down to the 6-yard line.
You know, you're talking about battering ram. He's carried the ball 160 times in his career, and he's only been thrown for a loss 4 times. Look at USC defense, gives up a touchdown every 188 yards. That's a lot of yards you have to move the ball before you score on them. They force you to run 44 snaps. That's good defense. If they play like that today, they'll win the football game.
3rd down and 6. Sheehy back in the tailback. Janoski, the lone wide receiver. Play action. Heward going to have to scramble with it. And he is driven out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Wanted to go to Janoski that time, and Harrison was the man that made the tackle on the other side.
He was running about by Quincy Harrison.
Good play action effort here. They wanted to run a little slant, then out to the sideline to the right. He slipped and fell. Janoski slipped and fell, as Roger said. No one to throw to. Not knowing for his scrambling ability, he's still mobile enough to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
John Wales is going to come on to attempt the field goal.
He doesn't miss him inside this area.
Fortney will put it down. It's like about the 13-yard line. Call it a 23-yard attempt. And it's good. 10:54 to go, first quarter from Husky Stadium in Seattle. And Washington leads USC 3-0.
Just not Chili's till you light up the grill, and that means steaks, like our new Solano strip steak and new steak pico, smothered with onions, bell peppers, and 2 kinds of cheese. So round up the gang and herd them on down to Chili's. Chili's grills like no place else.
Making ideas a reality. It's how you ended up with your own business in the first place. And it's why Hewlett-Packard has introduced the fast, reliable, affordable HP LaserJet 5L and the colorful HP DeskJet 850 series with a real-life imaging system. Dependable, professional Hewlett-Packard printers. Printers that work almost as hard as you do. HP printers. Just what you had in mind.
If you were to make a list of the safest towns in America, at the top of that list would be Eau Claire, Wisconsin. If you were to make a list of cars with the most standard safety features for the money, at the top of that list would be the Chevy Cavalier. So if you lived in Eau Claire and you drove a Cavalier, would that make you one of the safest people in America? Probably not, but it's a good start.
The PGA Tour's top money winners tee it up in their season's grand finale. It's golf's richest event, the Tour Championship, next on ABC Sports.
Beautiful day here in Seattle. Sun has come out. And the Husky faithful here on homecoming weekend are happy with an early 3-0 lead over USC as John Wales gets set to kick it off, and John Robinson having a discussion with the officials over on the far side.
Well, I think Keith Burns, defensive coordinator for USC, has to be pleased with the fact that they did force him to go for the field goal and they didn't give up the 6-pointer there in that first drive.
Well, Dick, USC has allowed just one first-quarter touchdown this year.
That's right. That's pretty tough. You can't do it much better than that.
Of course, his second tenure with the Trojans. And Wales gets set to kick it off. Chris Miller, number 2. Anthony Volson, number 86. Back deep for USC.
Volson can really fly. He's the track man.
Taken over on the far side, and that's Volson. And Volson across the 25 to the 28-yard line. And Dick, you love that tight end for the University of Washington. He threw a big-time block on that run by Sheehy.
Number 82, Conwell, right here, does a nice job of hook blocking right there on Marcus Woods. Gets a little help from Battle right there. But, I mean, you're just a physically dominating player at that position. You can run outside.
And they mark the ball at the 28-yard line. So USC has it 1st and 10, 10:48 to go first quarter. And the run there by DeLon Washington. And not much happening. And for the University of Southern California, of course, they use 2 quarterbacks. They've done it all year, but the guy that gets the start is the junior from Tumwater, Washington, Brad Otten.
And a very smart quarterback, has a great feel for the game and all very good leadership skills.
And the Chili's backs and receivers for USC. Watch the tight end position. They'll play 3 guys there. They've got 30 receptions between them and 8 touchdowns this year with Johnny McWilliams the starter. On 2nd down, a gain of maybe 1. Suki Widge was the first man to get in there for Washington. As we check out the offensive line, and the big senior is Norberto Garito.
A 3-year starter. They shouldn't be able to fool him, even though they haven't seen an 8-man front. In his career, he's seen an 8-man front defensive alignment before. He should not make many mistakes. He's a big man and can block it.
Washington just got it back to the line of scrimmage. Rodney Sermons, number 5, checks in. He is the lone setback. On 3rd down and 9. As Otten will throw it. The pass is caught. Way short of the first down. Fialo was right there to make the tackle, and a very short gain by Larry Parker, number 80.
Well, USC's basic passing attack is a short passing game. Throw the ball short, let the receivers catch it. University of Washington that time plays a double zone. They roll the curvers up, go too deep with the safeties. The linebackers are playing zone. They see the throw, they react to it, make the play.
John Stonehouse comes in to punt it, averaging 42.1 yards per punt this year. A career average of 40.5. From the 20-yard line, and Neal back. Fair catch called at the 18. Big-time punt as a flag is tossed down right where Leon Neal caught the ball. Now, Dick, he looked to be a little late in putting his hand up, and that USC defensive player was right there on top of it.
Interference with the opportunity to make a catch by the kicking team. 5 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be 1st down, Washington.
48 yards on the punt. Now, take a look at this.
It's nice to have this guy. He has that signal up there in time. Oh, I don't believe that.
That's for my ex. That's for my overbearing boss. That's for the condescending bank teller. That's for that lousy waitress and crummy coffee. And this is for you.
The Chevy Camaro's 200 horsepower 3800 V6. Therapeutic, isn't it?
The human face, a landscape, difficult terrain where certain hairs grow taller, longer. Introducing a revolutionary 3-stage shaving system, Braun Flex Integral. The first foil removes short hairs. An integrated cutter shaves longer hairs. And the second foil completes the job. New Flex Integral for Braun's closest shave yet. Braun, the world's most recognized shave.
A date on the calendar. Monthly exams. The beat of a heart. A glimpse into the future. All the pieces that add up to a large dose of caring and concern from a pioneer in managed health care. Because babies need to be taken care of well before they're born. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Washington leads USC 3-0. You know, Dick, the last 4 games for Washington, they've only turned the ball over 4 times. They've really taken care of it. What do they want to try to do against this 5-2 defense of USC?
Well, they want to attack it physically, similar to the Notre Dame principle. Whenever a team beats somebody, beats a defense, you give other coaches ideas. They want to go at them physically.
1st and 10, and immediately a flag is thrown. Like some movement up front by the right guard, Benji Olsen.
Before the snap, false start offense, 5 yards from the previous spot. Still first down.
Well, let's check in now on some of the happenings in college football. John Saunders, what about Nebraska?
Roger, you just showed the score, and keep in mind, Florida State, #1 team in the nation, is off this week, so Nebraska trying to steal away some first-place votes. First play from scrimmage against Colorado, Amon Green, 57 yards for the touchdown. Cornhuskers up 7-0. Roger.
Hey, Vermeil, they could put you a tailback up in Nebraska, and you could run for some touchdowns.
I doubt that.
1st and 15, Sheehy is stopped just across the 20 at the 21-yard line. Quincy Harrison makes a tackle.
You see Keith Burns, defensive coordinator for USC, now changed up his defense. Went to a 4-man line, nickel defense against the run. They're moving Sammy Knight from a strong safety position up to an outside linebacker in a 4-3 look and bringing in Jesse Davis to play the safety position. Was not satisfied with the play of the 5-man down line defense last week against Notre Dame, changing up smart coaching.
That sets up a 2nd down and 12 as Janoski comes to the near side with Fred Coleman. Thomas back in the game at fullback. And Sheehy skips to the outside, leans ahead across the 30. And folks, when I say skip, he literally skips. He's got some quick action in his feet.
They ran over there by big Bob Sapp, the weak side offensive tackle. He's always on the open end of the formation, number 72. He's a big man at 6'5", 285. He's got the great big long arms. He can extend them. They got him tied up there. Willie Lowry battling the best he can, but he got a good block as well at the point outside by the wide receiver, Freddie Coleman.
You know, when you have Sapp stand up and extend his arms, he's 6'5", 285. From the tip of his right middle finger to the tip of his left middle finger, 106 inches.
Yeah, he can fly with those wings.
He can fly.
He can hold, too.
3rd down and 3. Sheehy loses the football. It's on the ground.
Marcus Bonds picked it up.
Bonds was the guy that was right there. I mentioned just 4 turnovers in their last 4 games. Now, let's see. We haven't got a... Now, they're going to give it to Washington. Now, did they say he was already down when he fumbled?
Or someone took it out underneath the pile because Bonds had the ball. When you run the I formation and get the ball back that deep, you should have time to really lock it up. The ball's out right there on the turf. To the right, there's Bonds, number 90, getting onto it. They stole it in the pile.
Guess who stole it?
Who was it?
Ernie Conwell.
Well, he's strong enough.
Yeah.
He's the strongest man on the team. Wow. John can't believe it.
Well, these 2 teams have battled hard
over the years.
Oh, man, they've had some great games. And look at this, the last 19 meetings, folks. 304 points for USC, 303 for Washington. And on the fumble, they get the 1st down.
You know it's going your way when you can fumble on 3rd and short and steal the ball back from the man that recovers it.
Well, how about USC? They fumbled 15 times this year, but only lost 3.
Good quickness and a lot of luck.
What's happening in the Pac-10 today? Stanford leading Oregon State in the 1st quarter, and Oregon still in the thick of things. They're playing a little bit later on. 1st and 10.
Back to the 5-down lineman defense.
At the 33-yard line, play action coming near side. Catch is made at the 45-yard line. Pathan Jerome Pathan makes the catch.
I think if SC allows Damon Heward to gain confidence in this first quarter and don't break his rhythm and don't put some pressure on him, he will be tough to beat. In talking to him on the practice field Thursday, you and I both, Rod, you noticed a guy that really starting to think that he can play this game.
Heward, a 6'4" senior from Puyallup, bright student, 3.34 GPA in business.
There's a 2 tight end package right now, Rod.
Neal, the lone running back. He's got the football on the right side. Neal across midfield to the 48-yard line where Brian Kelly makes the tackle.
I'll tell you, they're blowing him off the line of scrimmage. Eric Battle, the strong side tackle, number 70, and Benji Olsen came off the ball and really nailed him. You'll see here right to the right side here, they're coming off the ball and nailing. See, they're just knocking him off. There's a crease right there, and he finds it.
Dick, why is USC running that 5-man front, that 5-2 defense?
Well, first off, they have more down linemen than they do linebackers. And secondly, they did not do a good job of defensing the run last year, and they put 5 gorillas up there that can attack them. And they've done a great job. But Notre Dame found a little secret out.
8-yard pickup by Neal, and on the second down, he's got the first down inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. And let's check in with Jack Arute on the running back, Neal. Jack?
Well, Roger, Leon Neal came up with a case of turf toe a couple of games back, and he's tried to fight his way back into the lineup. Now, what the trainers have done for the Washington Huskies for Leon Neal is they have fashioned this steel plate that goes in the shoe. They say what it does is it adds support to Leon Neal's turf toe. Now, what is a turf toe? It literally is a sprained big toe. It's something I wouldn't want to have.
Thanks, Jack. As Heward on first down will throw it near side.
Nice
coverage indeed over there, Dick, by Brian Kelly. You know, he's been banged up a little bit, but he's starting to come back.
He's had a little ankle, and Keith Burns, the defensive coordinator, told us that when he's healthy, he's our best cover man. He demonstrates good skills there, and Keith Burns gives him the signal. Horns, whatever that means. Remember, he put his fingers up over his head.
Well, Burns used to coach down at Rice in Texas. Maybe he was thinking about those Longhorns.
Out of Arkansas. I sense he's an intense guy.
Yeah, I think so. The intended receiver on that last play, Janoski. So a second down and 10 from the 44. Now, see Conwell lining up at the fullback spot right there, number 82, leading the blocking. Neal bounces off one, but he can't bounce off another, as Sammy Knight and Scott Fields were there to make the stop. A little different twist there for Washington, showing Conwell in that fullback spot.
Well, Bill Dietrich, the offensive coordinator, plans to use him in the backfield and shift him. Now, they'll shift him opposite Sammy Knight to try to get a better run formation away from the strength of the defense. But they will leave him in the backfield from time to time, so they just can't assume that he's always going to shift out of there. And then they use him as a lead blocker.
Washington now with a 3rd down and 8, 5:18 left to go first quarter. Neal, the lone setback, 3 wide receivers on the draw. Neal gets it inside the 40 to the 39. They're going to be about 5 yards short of the first down.
Good defensive tackle play inside that time. They were in the nickel defense, and Matt Kennelly and Darrell Russell did a good job of constricting that draw hole. The game plan for Washington is to run some on 3rd and long, that 6 and 7 yard situation. Go ahead and try to get it.
On 4th down and 6, Prince will come in to punt the football, standing back at the 45-yard line, and then Larry Parker at the 10 to receive it for USC.
They're in a regular defense, not a punt return defense, making sure that they don't do something tricky.
Lazy old high kick, but fair catch is called for at the 13-yard line. 4:22 to go first quarter, and Washington leads USC.
Take cold. Take taste. Take smooth to the extreme. Bud Ice. Brewed to go beyond the others. To be an easier drinking ice. Take smooth to the extreme. Bud Ice.
gives you more ways to add the impact of color to black and white documents. Xerox Color. A simpler way to do good work.
There was a time when we didn't have a worry in the world. Today, well, we seem to be making up for it. That's why you need Chevy Lumina, a car you can trust. A car so well engineered and affordable, you could have it paid off long before it needs its first tune-up. Chevy Lumina. Because someday you'll realize nobody's got enough money, and everybody's got enough worries.
College football on ABC Sports brought to you by Chevrolet. The cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. Bud Ice, a 96-calorie Bud Ice Light. Chilled below freezing for a taste that's smooth to the extreme. Hewlett-Packard printers. Printers that work almost as hard as you do. And Chili's Grill and Bar, where steak lovers love to go for great grilled steaks. Roger Twaddle, Dick Vermeil, Jack Arute with you. Washington leads it 3-0 over USC. Trojans have got it first and 10, 14-yard line. Washington up the middle, and he's got a gain of about 9, and a check on another undefeated team playing today. John Saunders, what about those Gators?
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Florida against Georgia here. Danny Werfel going 14 yards to Ike Hilliard, his 8th touchdown catch of the year. And then 2 yards to Chris Doring. Quickly out of the gate, the Gators 14-0 with the lead. Meanwhile, Nebraska and Colorado, the Buffs have come back to tie this one. We'll update you in a moment.
All right, John. Dick, do they know how to throw the football down there in Gainesville?
Nobody does it any better.
USC coming up just a little bit short. Well, defensively for the Huskies of the University of Washington, look out for this guy, Jason Chorak. He's got 8 tackles for losses this year. He's real active.
Yeah, not very big, but great explosive ability in those lower hips and legs. He can come off the ball.
And then Scott Greenlaw is going to need some help, double teaming Keyshawn Johnson.
Look for Lawyer Malloy, number 9, to move over and help inside out or short and long.
Greenlaw's really a safety playing corner, as on second down, DeLon Washington didn't get it. David Ritchie was there to make the stop.
He's coming alive. We saw him play very well last week against the University of Arizona. USC, I think it'd be really smart for USC to try to start quick today. Get this crowd out of the ballgame. They have been a slow-starting offensive team. Then they have to maintain that great success they've had all year on first down. Look at that, 6.4 yards. That's a good job. Force Washington's offense into 3rd and long situations. SC normally does a good job of defensing that situation.
3rd down and 2. So after 2nd and inches, it's a 3rd and 2. They'll try the left side. Fiala was right there. Nothing happened. A flag has been thrown.
And the key to that defense was not the guy that made the play, it was the guy that wrecked the play. Again, it was David Ritchie got penetration inside, forced the ball outside. Penalty against SC. Good defense inside by David Ritchie. Forced the man to cut to the outside too soon. Couldn't make the first down anyway with a penalty.
There are your Pac-10 officials.
Illegal shift. Offense. That penalty is refused. First down.
And let's hope those officials won't be too busy. USC has been penalized 66 times coming into this game, so they picked up a couple more already today. 2nd most penalized team in the Pac-10.
Not always an indication of lack of discipline or any. Some of the best teams in the country are the most penalized teams, and they win anyway.
That's Leon Neal back to receive before he was hurt, one of the top punt returners in the nation. Stonehouse inside the 10, got off a 48-yarder his first time. This is a low-line drive kick. It's going to take a big bounce, and Neal will field it and take it to the 34-yard line. And with 2:54 left to go first quarter, Washington will have it 1st and 10. And tonight on ABC, spend Halloween at a great party on the Jeff Foxworthy Show, followed by Maybe This Time, then Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker star in the hilariously spooky network premiere of Hocus Pocus. All new, all tonight on ABC. And speaking of Hocus Pocus, how did Arute get over there in the trance?
Hey, Jack!
Hey, remember DeAndros, the great pumpkin, the coach
you
at
bet. I
Oregon
coached
State?
against him.
Yeah.
Fine man.
There's the total yards today. Washington.
They're playing inspired football.
46-yard punt there for Stonehouse. Neal gets it, and he is to the 35, 36. How important is it for Leon Neal to get back in after Sheehy has played so well and to contribute something to them?
Well, Leon Neal really is the tempo setter for everybody. Was prior to the turf toe, because he is as tough a guy as you'll see anywhere in the country for his body size. 5'9", 185, very strong, very intense football player, and he really has been a good leader for Rashawn Sheehy. He has taught him how this game has got to be played. He sets the example.
Very patient young man, had to wait a long time behind a kid named Kaufman before he got an opportunity.
Yeah, Napoleon could play, couldn't he?
Second down and 8. Conwell shifts out of the fullback spot. Neal the long back. Blitz coming. Heward gets rid of it. Well, I'll tell you, coming strong was Sammy Knight that time. Heward heard the footsteps and a lot of traffic over on the far side of the field.
And a good change-up by Keith Burns, the defensive coordinator and signal caller. He said he was going to bring Sammy Knight out of this new 4-3 defense. He'll appear from the right side of your screen. He flashes in there. You see, here he comes late. This is a new defense. They have not seen this defense in preparation game plan-wise, so that gives SC the edge in those situations.
USC with 18 sacks this year. They had 30 last year, so ahead of that pace. As Washington now 3rd down and 8. 3 wide receivers. They're going to screen it out to Neal. He's got blockers in front of him. He's got some space. Leon Neal's got the sideline. He cuts it in and taken down at the 29-yard line. I'll tell you, Dick, I think if he stayed over by the boundary, he might have gone all the way.
Yeah, well, you set that screen. They went zone. So the coverage is backing off. They got a 4-man rush. The rush gets upfield, which you like them to do when you're going to throw the ball against the screen. Now Neal, number 12, will set to his left. He sets, he counts. Now he releases. He gets a good kick-out block right there by number 79.
Highfield.
Highfield. That's the offensive center. Then it's just a running back. But he got good blocks downfield by the receivers as well. You'll see Coleman down there, number 22. Now look at him staring. He's staring. He knows where he's going with the football. He lays it off. He gets Highfield, number 79, gets a little nudge kick-out block right there. Hey, open field play with that man is a big one. 1st and 10, 28-yard line. Heward fumbled the snap momentarily. They got it to Neal, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. But did you see Heward set to his left and throw that time? You know, that's been a weakness of his. He looked very confident on that play. Well, on the screen pass is not a real good time to evaluate it, but he did do that. That was a nice defensive play by Stuart Gage, the nose tackle. He did not have a good game against Notre Dame last week, and therefore the reason for maybe a little bit more of a 4-3, but he played nose guard as it should be played on that snap.
That was that 36-yard pickup on that screen pass to Neal. This is what Heward needs to surpass Sonny Six-Killer school record of 5,496. They're going to bring it around. They are. They're going to try to run the reverse. Desasure is drilled out of bounds at the 36-yard line by Scott Fields. An official got knocked out over there.
You know, wow, look at, he's got a lump on his head. Right over. Yeah, he says, I'm all right. Look at, woo!
He got it in the nose, too. Yeah. He's got a bloody nose, and I don't know whether an official has to leave the game because he's bleeding. A player does.
Right to the right side of your screen. Here he goes. Bang. Oh, Sammy Knight's helmet got him. Oh,
we talked about a championship battle today, heavyweight battle. Yeah. The official needs a cut, man.
That hurts a bit. Wow.
Where's Angelo Dundee when you need him?
Roger, you said this was going to be the battle in Seattle. I didn't know the officials were going to be involved.
They're part of the game, too. I'll tell you, he was very close to being out of bounds when that hit came. Did you see it? I think he actually had 1 foot out of bounds. But look at that! Look at that official. He got right up and see he's still in on the call.
He's tough. He's gonna officiate hurt.
Is that Bob Beal, the head linesman?
I can't tell you. I don't know the guy.
Scott Fields got over there in great pursuit. I know he didn't do that intentionally, but I'll tell you, he knocked the whole crowd down.
As other scores. Michigan leading Minnesota 21-0 in the first quarter. Young Greasy had a touchdown pass in that game.
You know, running a reverse, when you're moving the ball real well without it, to me, coaches will second-guess that call.
Yeah, that was Bob Beal, the head linesman. So 3rd down and 18, less than a minute to go first quarter. Heward, they're going to try that screen again. Thomas has got it this time. He's got some blocks. But I'll tell you, great job coming from behind over there. Number 23 is Jesse Davis. I'll tell you, he really flashes, and you picked that up from their game last week against Notre Dame.
I mentioned that to the coaches. This guy, you know, he's not a starter, but he starts in the 4-3 and he starts in the nickel, but he flashes into plays. He's 4 passing interceptions coming in, tied for the league in the Pac-10. I think I'd get him on the field a little bit more.
You know, want to remind everyone, Dick, at the conclusion of today's game, we'll be selecting a genuine Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team. Chevrolet has contributed almost $5.5 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities. As John Wales attempts a 44-yard field goal, he's 6 of 17 in his career from 40 to 49 yards. And that's why. I'll tell you, you know, he's great inside 40, Dick.
Oh, inside the 40, Roger, in his career, he's 17 of 18. That's 94%. NCAA average for that inside is 74%. NFL is 85%. He's doing a great job. But outside the 40, he ain't living up to it.
We've completed the first quarter from Seattle, and the Huskies lead the Trojans.
Sunday after Sunday, we believe in putting on our best. Maybe that's why no car company has won more races in the history of NASCAR than Chevrolet.
All set?
You bet I am. Thanks to you.
A few weeks ago with Jesse, I noticed something. Dandruff. So I told him about Head & Shoulders. Regular shampoos just rinse flakes away. Head & Shoulders helps prevent flakes from even forming.
Because great hair can't have flakes.
Recently, Dave Thomas hosted the Big Eaters Convention. The meal, Wendy's delicious Big Bacon Classic with Biggie fries and a drink. Everyone agreed they could barely finish except Big Bob Levitt. He had 2.
He's the man.
Wendy's Big Bacon Classic Combo, the official meal of the Big Eaters Club.
My husband and I both work, but when there's a problem with the kids or around the home, I'm usually the one to deal with it.
But it's not just me they depend on. It's my income, too. If anything ever happened to me, State Farm can help make sure their future is secure. If you want to talk life insurance with somebody who knows what they're talking about and knows how to listen, talk to a State Farm agent.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Next Saturday, 12:30 Pacific, 1:30 Mountain. Check your local listings for the game in your area and check with your cable company for pay-per-view possibilities. College football here on ABC Sports says Wallholtz is checking a quarterback to start the second quarter. He throws it near side, and he immediately goes to Keyshawn Johnson. Good idea.
Yeah, you better get the ball in his hands, Boucher. You're not going to score a lot of points unless you get the ball in this man's hands. Taking a look at the first quarter statistics, totally dominated by the University of Washington in every category. Number of plays, 23-6. Rushing yards, 76-10. Passing yards, 5-63. Total yards, time of possession, it's a rout.
Bob Beal is still being attended to, so we're down one official in this game. See Beal over on the sideline. The Washington Husky medical staff checking on him. Penalty marker goes down.
See what happens. The Huskies show a 44-look defense and change right prior to the snap to a bear defense.
Full start offense. 5 yards from the previous spot.
And they use a verbal command like shift, and everyone shifts, and sometimes that pulls an offensive lineman off, and that's what happened that time.
Jack Arute, what do you got for us on Bob Beal?
Well, Roger, I've done a lot of injury reports, but never on a head linesman before. Bob Beal is suffering from a contusion up on his forehead. He literally got hit in the face with the helmet, and what's happened is both of his nose areas, the nasal passages, are bleeding. They've packed it with gauze, and they've cleared him to go back in action.
Warholtz had all day there, and the intended receiver, who was wide open, he just couldn't get it to Chris Miller. And while we've got a moment, let's check in with John Saunders. John?
Roger, we told you the Buffs had come back to tie the Cornhuskers. Here's how they did it. John Hessler, 18 yards to Phil Savoy on first down. And Colorado comes back, ties at 7-7, and they have the ball about midfield. Roger.
Thanks, John. Well, it's that time of year. Start thinking about postseason action, bowl games. Which one of these teams could wind up in the Rose Bowl? Or could it be Oregon? Second down and 15, and more penalty markers. Looked like Richie might have jumped offside. Dick, what's your thought, your take on this two-quarterback system of USC?
Well, you know, they've been very efficient. It's not the first time in the history of SC they've done it. They've won national championships.
Offside, defense, 5 yards from the previous spot. Still second down.
Doing it in the past. I don't like it as a former coach in that I can't give enough, in my opinion, repetitions. And I'm talking about, hey, they've done it in the past. Look at Beathard and Nelson, 1962. National champion Mike Ray, Pat Hayden. Hey, they've done it before. So if you've got better players, you can do about whatever you want to do. But I think it hurts a quarterback getting enough repetition in the game plan, in my opinion.
Warholtz, a 6'5", 225-pounder on 2nd and 10. Throwing near side and just off the fingertips of his intended receiver, Terry Barnum over there, his fullback. You know, Warholtz threw his first career interception against Washington as a freshman in '92. Then he threw Dick a string of 123 straight passes without an interception until last week.
Well, neither of these quarterbacks have thrown interceptions. I think that shows great coaching by the quarterback coach, offensive coordinator Mike Riley. Neither quarterback has thrown the interception. Both very, very well coached.
It's remarkable what the two have done together. Now, Bob Beal, the official, is back, and on third down, they swing it out to the far side, and the reception by Rodney Sermons and a beautiful tackle by Ike Aliaga.
He has to make plays. He's their middle linebacker. He's their Mr. Tough Man to the inside. If he doesn't make that play, Roger, they've got a big one. They had the defense all stretched out. They had the secondary pushed out of there. If he doesn't make it, it's a big one.
It's impressive, Dick, the way Washington has bounced back from that devastating loss here at home to Notre Dame. They've won 2 conference games on the road, Stanford and Arizona, and now playing very well here early today.
Well, you know, they played well enough, as you know, as we did the ballgame, to beat Notre Dame.
Stonehouse from the 30-yard line.
That's a low one.
And Neal, well, that was grabbed by, it looked like Neal was going to pick it up. And then all of a sudden, a USC player came flying by Ken Haslip. And it's a touchback to be brought out to the 20.
It's color printing, and it's state-of-the-art. It's flyers. It's proposals. It's Crayola and Hallmark Connection software. And putting your very own logo on a t-shirt. So it's not business as usual. It's what you can do with a new Canon Color Bubble Jet printer. Ken, what can you do?
He is the driving force behind TCI and the architect of a global digital network.
Going rapidly to one world.
A woman in Tulsa will shop in Milan. A father will play with his son an ocean away. Every movie ever made, every word ever written at our fingertips.
Now that's an exciting future.
Where do you find the visionaries leading us into the next millennium? Actually, there's a list of them printed every day. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
The monsters at the Midway want to growl at the moon. They'll try to give the Vikings a scare. It's a Halloween Eve party on ABC's Monday Night Football.
USC with a win today must win 2 of the next 3 to clinch the bid to the Rose Bowl. Washington with a win today must beat Oregon and then win 1 of the 2 remaining games. And the team's still in the hunt: Oregon, Washington State, UCLA, Stanford. But boy, I'll tell you what, this is driver's seat time today. Team that wins this game. Washington 1st and 10. Heward looking down the right side, and some contact over there. The catch made, and are they going to call it good? Fred Coleman, yes, at the 46-yard line.
And they had good coverage on him, but the ball was underthrown. Defender playing man-to-man has his hat opposite. He can't see back into the quarterback's throw.
Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly can't see it, and you'll see that Coleman is looking back for the ball. Kelly cannot see it. He looks back too late. He makes a play, and this guy's been making big plays all year. That's the 7th reception beyond 30 yards for him.
Look at this balancer, Dick, how he keeps that 1 foot right there. He lifts the other one up. Beautiful. 34 yards on the reception. Acrobatic catch. And on 1st down, Neal tries the right side. Look at the strength. It takes 2 men to drive him down at the 42-yard line.
Well, they tried a little counter action, sending the fullback one way, the tailback the other way. Try to freeze the linebackers. They really believe they can block the inside linebackers because they're not real big guys. So they feel they could get their guards on them and man block them. But a good reaction by Fields that time, got over and made the play.
Kennelly also there on the tackle. Brian Kelly. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. Let's look at Fields. Number 6, Heward, the straight drop, throws it to Conwell. Conwell ducks his head, leans down to the 32-yard line. Sammy Knight, Mark Cusano, and Jack Arute. You've got a guy standing next to you that had some great moments on this field.
Well, Napoleon Kaufman is a guy that really showed people how to do it in terms of being a running back, and now you're with the Oakland Raiders. Great thing about a bye week, you can come back and talk to your friends.
Oh, definitely. You know, once we got the word that we're going to be able to come home on Saturday, I said, hey, I got to get a ticket. I got to come see this game. It's a good one.
Now, your assessment was, we get ready to go to the huddle here, coming out of the huddle. We'll talk to you after this play about your assessment of your fellows that have replaced you here in terms of running back.
All right, Jack, 1st and 10, and this running back doesn't get to carry it often, but Thomas batters his way down to the 25.
And he's playing a little bit banged up. He has a bad shoulder. That's another reason they've had Conwell working both at tight end and the fullback position.
All right, Jack.
Okay, Sheehy and Neal. Which one would you have to pick if you were the coach?
Are you going to put me on the spot, huh?
You got that right.
Oh, I don't know. They're both great backs. You know, they're doing a good job, and I'm just happy to see them doing so well. And we're winning right now, and hope we can keep it up.
How important is this battle? You were here during the probation years when you couldn't really battle for the Rose Bowl. How important is it now?
Oh, this is what it's all about right here. This means a lot. So hopefully we'll go out and win today.
On 2nd and 4, Neal gets it very close to the 1st down. Marcus Bonds was there to make the tackle, and they're going to give him the good spot and the 1st down. And Dick, this is where Washington's done a great job in the red zone this year.
Oh, they have done a great job, but you know something? Notre Dame came after USC defense man on man. They ran some traps, they ran some draws, they took them on physically up inside. That gives other people ideas. Then new offensive coordinators look at it. Hey, we like their ideas. We're going to add to it. And right now, the Huskies are taking them on man-to-man up inside.
Heward, 7 of 9, 107 yards, and he's completed those passes to 7 different receivers. On 1st and 10, play action. Heward is looking deep. Now he threw it to Thomas. Thomas turned his back as Heward was looking to the far corner. And Scott Fields was there on the coverage.
He actually, I think, just threw it there to get rid of it. He wanted to go deep on the corner pattern, but they doubled. They had a nice short and long coverage on the receiver at the top of the screen, and they couldn't throw it to him. Good coverage call, good changeup.
Pathan was the guy who was running that corner route. And so Thomas felt one in the middle of his back.
John Robinson talking to Keith Burns about the coverage and what the defense is going to be on this next call. John's on top of everything here.
2nd down and 10. Ball at the 21-yard line. 3 wide receivers. Neal's the lone setback. Neal's got it. Runs into Highfield and stopped after a gain of about 2 at the 19. And we talked about the road to the Rose Bowl for these teams. Of course, the other component is the Big Ten, and Ohio State just win the remaining games, and they were doing that easily today. Northwestern win the remaining games, and Ohio State must lose or tie once, and Michigan win the remaining games, and Northwestern must lose twice. And we'll check on some of those Big Ten scores for you in just a moment.
Well, Jim Lambright's talking about the red zone. He said the red zone success is a reflection of kind of the attitude his kids are. He says they're tough, blue-collar type football team, and it's demonstrated down there in that red zone.
3rd and 8. Hewitt's got a scramble. Finds his receiver at the 5-yard line. Inside the 5, down to the 4. Leon Neal, tackled by Micah Phillips and Sammy Knight.
Well, when you get him that much time, he's going to find somebody. See, he was forced to get outside, but the coverage took the pattern away downfield. But no one harassed him once he got outside. He's outside. Now nobody's chasing him. See, he's out there. He can turn his shoulders, find the receiver downfield. Here, look at, you got a lot of guys open there. There's the man, Neal, right in the middle of the screen in that zone. We've got to get some pressure on him if we're going to stop him.
They spotted at the 4-yard line, and 2-back set. Thomas is back in at fullback. On 1st and goal from the 4, Thomas bounces off one player, battles his way down to the 3, gain of about 1, as George Perry, 94, and Lawrence Larry, man with 2 first names, also on the tackle, number 56. If you take a look at Perry. And the Big Ten today, Michigan leading Minnesota in the 2nd quarter. Ohio State 56-35 over Iowa. Penn State beat Indiana, and Northwestern, Dick, defeated Illinois 17-14.
Nobody's done a better job of coaching in college football than Gary Barnett has done. He has done a tremendous job.
I'd put Glenn Mason at Kansas just a step behind.
They get whipped today.
Yep, 2nd and goal from the 3. Neal bouncing off a couple people. Look at him battle! Touchdown! Leon Neal. Dick, you said it, pound for pound. Nobody in the country as strong as this kid.
I know it. And you know, Kendall did a good job, defensive tackle, getting penetration in there. But there was nothing outside, see? There was nothing outside there. He just kept running right through people. See, you can't tackle that man with your out using your hands. You've got to get your hands wrapped down. And Lawrence Larry didn't use his arms.
That's a freshman mistake by Lawrence Larry. As Wales comes in to attempt the point after movement over there on the USC line. Penalty marker. Point after was good. The Huskies happy.
The extra point is good. Offside on the defense. Will be assessed on the kickoff. TV timeout.
8:50 to go, first half, and the Huskies lead the Trojans.
These guys are persistent.
Well, they're no match for the world's first sport utility wagon.
Oh, really?
All-wheel drive Subaru Outback's got more headroom than a Cherokee.
Uh-huh.
The ground clearance of an Explorer.
So you said.
Ride smooth as any car.
Got any more of those tidbits?
What, like more stability in a turn than a Chevy Blazer?
Sure, that'll do.
That's my Subaru Outback. World's first sport utility wagon.
In racing, there's no margin for error. The crew follows the same procedures every time the car pulls into the pits. It's the same way at Jiffy Lube. We follow the same strict procedures more than 50,000 times a day. It's your assurance that when you bring your car to Jiffy Lube, the job will be done right. And Jiffy Lube offers Pennzoil. Jiffy Lube, the world's most experienced oil changers. That's why if it doesn't say Jiffy Lube, it just isn't Jiffy Lube.
Oh, isn't that cute? What? You guys are like the 3 bears. You're Double Whopper, Whopper, Whopper Jr., Bing Bang Boom. I'm hungry, so what? Well, nothing, just sort of struck me as funny.
So what are you saying? I'm like the mama bear?
A Whopper value meal for any size appetite, starting at $1.99 every day at Burger King. That's getting your burger's worth.
Hey, baby bear, you gonna finish those fries? Yes. Ooh, somebody needs a nap.
Coming up next on the West Coast only, we'll have third-round coverage of the Tour's richest event, the Tour Championship. They're playing it at Southern Hills in Tulsa, a terrific golf course. That's coming up next here on ABC Sports.
Leon Neal at 5'9", and I think that's exaggerating.
Yeah, I think so.
Height, but he is extremely strong, and when he gets his pads down low, it's tough to get underneath him. You've got to use your pads, your legs. You got to drive to it. You got to wrap your arms around that guy, or you aren't going to tackle him.
Kicking off from the 40-yard line after the penalty. Wales will send it down. You saw Miller, number 2, Wilson, 86. That's a short kick taken by the up man at the 24-yard line, number 8, Billy Miller.
Take one more look. He wanted to really just go up inside. It was plugged up inside, so he bounced outside. And he had the power for a little man, got the pads down low, bounce off right there, bounce off right there, bounce off right there, run out of it. Poor tackling, great running. Take one more look. Intensity, desire to score. He wants to get in the end zone. That's typical of that kind of play.
First and 10, 24-yard line. Play action. Warholtz looking down the middle. The catch made by Keshawn Johnson at the 44. Greenlaw was right there to bring him down. Beautiful throw that time by Warholtz.
Yeah, and lots of time. Excellent pass protection. Good call by Mike Riley. He's got to change the tempo of this football game, and the way you do it is get the ball in the hands of your best football player. There he is, number 3 in the middle of the screen. You get the ball in his hands, he'll change the tempo.
126 career receptions for the junior college transfer from West LA, and 100 times they've moved the chains when he's caught it. First and 10 from the 44. Warholtz has got all day, and he's got room to run it if he chooses to do so, and he stumbles right at midfield.
Mike Riley is moving Keshawn Johnson around position-wise. That time he was in a slot. You'll see him at split end. You'll see him at flanker. They're moving him around. Last week at Notre Dame, they moved him out of the backfield as a man in motion. They're trying to disguise and change up where they're putting, so it's tough to get your double on him.
How can they get some pressure on the quarterback, though?
How they get some pressure on the quarterback? They're going to have to commit the linebackers, because this offensive line is big and strong, and they can pass protect.
Second and 5. Warholtz again, and the intended receiver's Parker. Penalty marker.
Pulled off that.
You think he might have heard some people
he
coming
saw
in
a purple
his direction?
jersey right there. He could have reached and caught that ball.
Holding against USC.
I'm impressed with the technique of the offensive line at SC. Mike Berry, a very well-respected offensive line coach, does a good job. They may not all be great players, but they're all well coached fundamentally.
Well, of course, they lost the great one, Baselli, from last year.
Did he make a difference when he became healthy?
Yes, he
at
did.
Jacksonville?
Yes, he did. John Michaels, a senior.
Holding, offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Still second down.
Has taken his place, and there's what USC has done in the first half. Punt, and punt.
It's not their kind of football. There's both Robinsons in the screen right there. John Robinson and his son got the headset on. That's David Robinson.
Second down and 15. Both receivers split to the top of your screen. Barnum's the fullback as Parker's the motion man. Draw play to Washington. Oh, nailed. And another penalty marker goes down. David Ritchie, one of the first men there, also the inkster, Ink Aliaga. Check out Bob Beal. Hey, Halloween is still a couple of days away.
This is a real battle in Seattle, isn't it?
Hey, Dick, those officials have to play her too.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
do.
Sometimes the players have got to do it, sometimes the officials.
Motion. Offense, that penalty is refused. Third down.
So this will set up a third down and long, and USC, Dick, one of the best teams in the nation in third down conversion percentage.
They've been going at 54%, but that's normally a reflection also of a real sound running game, but they haven't gotten their running game going today. There he is talking to Keith Burns, the defensive coordinator.
0 for 3 on third down today.
Yeah.
Third and 12.
Here comes Keshawn out of the backfield.
They put him in the tailback spot and put him in motion. Some pressure that time on Warholtz. He's got to throw it away. He got some real pressure that time from Deke Devers.
Devers was injured part of the year. One reason the defense has been playing better, he's back and healthy. He came into this ball game with 21 tackles for loss, 12 sacks in his career, so he's a penetrating type football player.
And USC will have to punt it. Stonehouse in, standing at his 27. His last punt of 56 yards was the 35th over 50 yards in his career.
As long as he gets it up high, he's a great punter. And he gets that one up nicely.
Neal eludes one tackler. Oh, goodness. He thought he might have had something going right there as he hit the turf at the 23-yard line. Well, you know, it was a tough week last week for USC playing against Notre Dame. They went into the game unbeaten, and John Robinson talked about that defeat.
It was a bitter disappointment. I think we'll be an angry team. I think the thing that we have to do is also play with a rhythm. We lost the rhythm that we had. Up to that point, we had been outstanding in turnovers. We had been outstanding in just not making errors, and last week it was a reversal for us. So we've got to get back in on our game, and if we do, I think we'll be a good team.
1st and 10, 23-yard line. Neal across the 40, and a penalty marker goes down, probably a face mask at the 41-yard line. Micah Phillips was the man that made the tackle and probably got a piece of that mask.
What they did, again, they shifted Ernie Conwell out of the backfield up to the left tight end position. Now that means they have 2 tight ends in the ballgame, and they run over there trying to get a soft corner.
Grabbing the face mask, 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
So 15 from the end of the run.
You see, he's shifted out of the fullback position over here. Now he's a very good blocker. They hand off and run up behind him. He gets a ricochet there. He gets out on the other linebacker and just creases him just enough, knock him off balance, and allow a real good running back some running room. And there's the face mask. Here it is again. Now you'll see the face mask at the end of this play, but good running skills, low center of gravity, very elusive once he gets the ball in the open field. And there's the face mask.
USC 5 penalties, 40 yards, and Washington has it 1st and 10, and Thomas has the football, and he's going absolutely nowhere as 96. Darrell Russell, 6'4", 320-pound sophomore, makes the tackle.
And I'll tell you, the defensive coaches say he's the finest defensive lineman they've ever seen at this stage of the game in terms of athletic talent. He is very skilled. He's just learning what it's all about. And look at what Leon Neal is doing today.
Kind of an all-around guy, isn't he?
53. Remember, he hasn't played in 3 weeks.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a real blessing for them the way he stepped up in that Notre Dame game, gave them the opportunity to rest him and get him healthy.
Yeah, but he's the emotional leader of this football team.
Loss of 1 on that last play, 2nd down and 11, 5:46 left to go, first half. Conwell makes the catch, and watch him put his head down and run through people to the 30-yard line. The youngest of 9 children, the strongest player on the team, and he's an auto mechanic too.
His dad at 68 years old is still driving stock cars on Friday night around here. But this guy loves to play football. He'll be a high draft choice in the National Football League. He has all the packages, plus the attitude. Outstanding student as well. He reaches back, a little straight pattern, throwing right where it has to be up there. He locks it away. Now he demonstrates that strength and power. All the receivers are catching the ball. They're moving it around.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Neal.
Oh, nice linebacker.
Penalty markers thrown as he battles his way down to the 27-yard line. Scott Fields was there to make the tackle.
Scott Fields made the tackle, but Brian Haas ruined the play. Real good job of inside linebacker play. He took on a devastating blocker in Richard Thomas and put him down. Did a real nice job. You'll see it appear from the left side of your screen. He'll appear right in here and fill the play. Fullback will take him on. Bang! Look at him take him on right there at the hole. Nice job by Brian Haas.
2nd down and 7, 3 wide receivers with Neal the lone setback. Hewitt on the straight drop, scrambling around, throws it downfield, catch is made. Neal leans forward to the 15, and Hewitt knew exactly where the markers were, but a penalty marker has been thrown.
He might have been either across the line of scrimmage or an offensive lineman down the field. Let's see what they've called.
Well, it's going to be against Washington.
Yeah. Pass. Got across the line of scrimmage.
Looked like he was casting a glance over to the sideline to see where he was at.
Illegal forward pass. Offense. 5 yards from the spot of the foul. That penalty also includes a loss of down.
Wow.
3rd down.
Jim Lambright doesn't like that one.
Lambright 7-4 and 7-4 the last 2 years. He's looking for that breakthrough victory. Has not beaten Southern Cal, the University of Southern California, since he became the head coach. And you know, Heward is also looking for that big win. Dick, as we saw a couple weeks ago, played a terrific game against Notre Dame until the final 2.5 minutes. Well, not just Heward, but the whole team kind of destructed him.
When it goes bad, it goes bad.
Yeah.
You know, and the other thing happens when it goes well. You know, it creates the positive momentum right now, and that's what's going right now. SC's got to change the tempo somewhere. They started it with the passing game last time. Now they've got to come up with some big plays on defense. The last time they blitzed Sammy Knight off the corner, it was effective defense.
Game's coming up next Saturday here on ABC Sports at 12:30 Pacific, 1:30 Mountain in the Pac-10. Stanford, USC. Take a look at the rest of the schedule. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Call your cable company for pay-per-view possibilities. And if you want to see Dick Vermeil, you tune into that Alabama-LSU game.
We will be in Tuscaloosa.
Third down and 10 at the 30-yard line. Heward will throw it over to Neal. Neal cuts it back inside the 15 down to the 12, where Marcus Bonds finally has to make the tackle. Good block by Benji Olsen to spring him on that side.
Well, Bill Diedrich, the offensive coordinator who calls the play, said they were going to screen a lot on these people. Now, defensively, one way to take away screens is to start playing some man-to-man, so you have somebody assigned, locked onto the running back coming to the left side of your screen. See, nobody's on him. They're all playing loose zone. They get a few blocks downfield. Again, this guy in the open field is dangerous. Again, they're going to have to change up. Defensive linemen are also going to have to feel the difference between pass protection and a screen block. Those linemen release, they're going to have to trail them.
Trevor Highfield with a couple of nice blocks on that play. First and 10, they spotted at the 13. Neal tries the right side. Nearly broke the tackle as he gets it down to the 8-yard line. And Willie Lowry makes the stop. And is this kid ready to play football today, Leon Neal?
Yeah, you know, being hurt is a bad thing. But one thing it does do is allow you to freshen up. And he has his quickness right now. He's quicker today than the last time we saw him play when he was healthy against Ohio State. Look at this. USC 18, 126 total domination. I did not expect this, nor did you, Raj.
You know, Neal told me in practice the other day, he says, you know, things have a funny way of working out. Maybe this is just the plan. He says, I'm going to be ready to go. He was for Sheehy when Sheehy was in there. He says, I'm not going to let this team down. He says, I want to get to the Rose Bowl as the penalty marker goes down, as Neal got down to about the 6, and a penalty marker has been thrown down.
I'll tell you, Brian Haas, again, is doing a nice job of taking on the isolation play. Isolation meaning he has to step up in the hole and take on that linebacker. Did a real nice job 2 times in a row. Fullback 30, Thomas going up in the hole. Boom! There, see, good penetration. He worked in there. He didn't make the tackle, but he ruined the play. Again, a nice job by Brian Haas.
Sammy Knight was on the end of that destructive block. I'll tell you what, Conwell gets low, and he's got such a great surge of power.
Yes,
we were asking their strength coach, who is the fastest and strongest guy if you put the combination together? Ernie Conwell.
Yeah, but you know, the power comes from him. He's a great shot putter. 2-time state champion in the shot put here in the state of Washington. Plus, he was 5th in the NCAA shot put. That's 61 feet. I mean, that's a man.
Clock's running down to 2:50 left in the first half. Washington 10, USC nothing. It's 2nd and 1. Ball at about the 3.5-yard line. Thomas and Neal in at running back. Heward wants to throw a nail from behind at the 10-yard line by Scott Fields.
There was holding on that play. They wanted to run the tight end pattern to number 84, Jeremy Brigham, but Willie Lowry, good, smart heads-up play, grabbed him and held on to him. Number 91, good, smart play by Willie Lowry. to the left side of your screen. I think you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Right here. Here's the combination. Lowry, 91. He grabs on and he hangs on. They wanted to throw him the ball. He just keeps hanging on to the jersey. Good job, Willie.
First sack this year for Scott Fields.
To the right side of your screen now, you'll see number 84. That Jerry Brigham coming off, and Lowry wouldn't let him off.
3rd down and 7. And movement on the right side there. Looked like Heward was checking off, and it was number 77, the young true freshman, Kreutz, who moved. And while we got a moment, let's check in with John Saunders. John?
5 yards from the previous spot. Still 3rd down.
Coming up at halftime on the Prudential Halftime Report, we'll have all the day's scores and highlights, including another look at Northwestern, the surprise team of the year, and a winner again today.
All right, thanks, John. 3rd down and 12, 1:40 left to go first half. Neal not finding much running room inside to the 13-yard line where Darrell Russell made the tackle.
See, you've got a 10-point lead right now, 10-0. You're playing well. You don't want to take a chance of turning it over, so you try to run the draw up inside there and pop it, and if you don't get it, you get it closer for a field goal. I think good decision.
Well, they were down close, looking like on a 2nd and 1 at about the 3.5 that maybe they'd punch it in for a TD. Now, Wales will attempt the field goal, 31 yards.
This is where he's been excellent. 8 for 8 in his career.
Fortney is the holder. The kick is up, and it's good. His 2nd field goal of the day, less than a minute to go first half, and the Huskies lead it 13-0.
Recently, the Broncos and 49ers showcased their talents in Tokyo.
Love is a many splendored thing.
At Zone West Karaoke,
By your man. Blame it on the bossa nova. The dance of love.
where the players brought no ability to carry a tune, but did bring their Visa card.
Was it the moon?
Because Zone West can accept just about anything except American Express.
Everybody sing. It's the April rose that only...
The University of Southern California has forged a tradition of excellence with top 10 programs in the arts, sciences, and humanities. USC also ranks among the nation's top dozen schools in the enrollment of National Merit Scholars and is among the nation's top 10 private universities in sponsored research. 1994 Nobel laureate George Olah is just one example of a world-class faculty with a mission to educate, discover, and create. USC, building on excellence.
I want to be a writer. Mysteries. Famous explorers. They came to a valley. I think it's really fun to learn about authors and their style of writing.
He did not know who had shouted, but that made no difference.
Because you sort of get to know that person.
Which was all that mattered.
I like the books where there's girls in them. I don't really like the ones that have a main character as a boy. Boys are ick.
Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, John Saunders will have scores and highlights from all of today's action. Plus, from Champaign, Illinois, Lewis Johnson reports on this season's most surprising success, the Northwestern Wildcats, who did it again today against the Fighting Illini. And boy, I'll tell you, what a beautiful picture that is. We saw the Cascades out there covered with snow. And Wales will kick it off. Getting a little bit cooler here in the stadium.
Don't be surprised if he does something different in the kicking game. He's done a lot of different things in his career in that kicking game.
Well, he kicks that one high and short. And Chris Miller fields it. Miller runs it out at the 30-yard line.
You know, John was a little bit concerned about maybe last week and going to South Bend that he put a little too much emphasis on the game. You know, an undefeated team going there, maybe a possible national championship if we play super. He said maybe it'd have been better off going in there and just playing, hey, this is just another game. But as a coach, you always second-guess yourself when the end result is that kind of a performance.
And especially against Notre Dame, a team you hadn't beaten your last 12 tries.
Yeah.
All 3 timeouts remaining for USC on 1st and 10, and Keyshawn Johnson with the reception, and the Washington coaches, Dick, told us that their concern was we're not going to be so much concerned about him catching the ball. We're concerned about making the tackle after the catch.
Yeah, don't give him any yards after the catch. Randy Hart, the defensive coordinator, said that's the number one thing in the game plan. Number two is to hold him to under 100 yards rushing. They're doing that right now.
Warholtz will throw it to Keyshawn Johnson again, and they make the tackle.
Pass is complete to Keyshawn Johnson.
Number 4, one of the guys over there.
He's
also over there, Jensen.
Outstanding, standing receiver, as good as there is anybody in the country. I asked him where he'd like to play in the NFL, and he said, well, anywhere. But if I had my choice, either San Diego or Dallas, he said those would be great places to play.
We've got a timeout on the field. 24 seconds to go first half. Let's check on some other shows upcoming here on ABC.
Monday, the marshal's tracking a serial killer.
You want to?
You forgot, can I buy you a drink?
Who's out of control. And McBride's got to catch this maniac before the body count goes up.
The gun down, Earl. You shoot me, I shoot him.
Jeff Fahey is the marshal. Monday. Tuesday, there's big news at the precinct.
I think we should be discreet about this for now.
Sylvie's pregnant? Can you keep a secret? Can you keep it in absolute confidence?
You told him, didn't you?
It's an all-new Blue. Tuesday. Viewer discretion advised.
You know, we find Jack Arute everywhere. When he comes up to Seattle, you never know. He might be at the Kingdome. He might have a pumpkin on his head. He might be water skiing out on Lake Washington. It's just unbelievable how the guy gets around. Well, this has been a swarming, attacking Washington defense in the first half, Dick.
Oh, they're back to that attack principle. It's the first time that SC's crossed the 50, and they only made it by a foot.
24 seconds left to go first half. Second down and 1. Split backs with 3 wide receivers. Kyle Warholtz, the quarterback. Hit from behind and fumbles the football. Washington's got it. Suki Wiggs comes up with it. And with 16 seconds left to go and 3 timeouts remaining, the Huskies might get it on the board again.
Well, really, Kyle had tremendous protection. I mean, he had a lot of time to throw the ball, but everybody was covered. He does not throw interceptions. Kyle Warholtz does not throw them. He has good protection. Look at the time. Look at the time. Look at the time. Now, all of a sudden, here comes Ego coming around the backside. Give coverage, give credit to the coverage people downfield.
How's that helmet feel when it sticks you right there?
Yeah, he is such a big target to hit in the middle. 6'5", 220. You can't miss him coming from behind.
Man, that hurt just looking at that. That's why they have those new rib pads you wear.
Now, the Huskies have all 3 timeouts right now.
All 3. 16 seconds. And Heward's going to put it up as he comes near side. Catch is made there at the 23-yard line. Pathan. This is a young guy that's getting to see more and more action. He's from Vancouver, British Columbia.
Well, you know, he's a young guy, and all these young receivers, he's only a sophomore. The other receivers are young players, all gaining experience. He gets his feet down. 1, 2. Now here's Sammy Knights, a little bit upset. Oh, no, he didn't do that on purpose.
Well, you saw who was running over there to make sure. Bob Sapp was just coming over to make sure Sammy didn't do anything else. A timeout called. So with 11 seconds left, they've got it, Dick, at the 23-yard line. Give us a little strategy here now. How many plays do you try to get off? They got 2 timeouts remaining, or
well,
just...
first thing you know, you're going to save the 1 timeout for the 1 second to go, so you can get the clocks out to kick your field goal. But he has time with the right kind of passing, you know, the quick passing, to throw the ball twice. Tough to get it into the end zone when they're probably be playing some kind of a zone. The big thing is he cannot take a sack because he's already in, you know, in field goal range, and their field goal kicker is not a long-range kicker, so they don't want to take a sack. And number 2, you don't want to turn it over.
Washington 15 first downs in the first half. USC 3.
Jim Lambright has these guys in a great frame of mind. I think this has been demonstrated all through this first and second quarter. They were mentally ready to play.
3 wide receivers for Washington. Neal is the lone setback. 1st and 10, 11 seconds to go first half.
Showing a double zone coverage.
Heward. Now he'll just throw it away to the near side.
He didn't want to take a sack. He knew he was in trouble. The double zone coverage took away where he wanted to go with the ball. Good intelligence that time. Just flip it off. Get it out of there.
Scott Linehan, the receiver coach.
Receiver coach. We were visiting with him the other day looking at tape, and He's really pleased with these young receivers. Andre DeSessure is only a redshirt freshman. Fred Coleman's a sophomore.
And Wales now to attempt the field goal from 41 yards.
Yeah,
that's where he has trouble, Dick, over 40.
He's made 6 in his career.
He missed from 44 earlier. And that one misses also. But a good first half for the Washington Huskies. 13-0 at halftime. John Saunders is coming up with the Prudential halftime report after this word.
College football on ABC Sports. Brought to you by the document company Xerox, a simpler way to do good work. And Chili's Grill and Bar. Chili's grills like no place else. Stay tuned for the Prudential halftime report after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Do you know what Hitachi makes? Ready? Go. Does Hitachi make camcorders?
Yes.
Barcode readers?
Yes.
Hydroelectric power equipment?
Yes.
Clown noses?
No.
Power tools?
Yes.
TVs?
Yes.
MRI systems?
Yes.
Beanies?
No.
Oscilloscopes?
Yes.
Micromotors?
Yes.
Mass transit trains?
Yes.
Tongue depressors?
No.
PBX phone systems?
Yes.
Catnip?
No.
Semiconductors?
Yes.
Lots of products?
Lots.
Over 20,000. Yeah, but who's counting?
At Chili's, we're always fixing up something special from the grill, like our Caribbean chicken salad with grilled marinated chicken and grilled tuna salad with ranch dressing and spicy pico de gallo. So if you like your salads fresh from the farm and hot off the grill, Chili's grills like no place else.
No trendy health club. No $60 shorts. No excuses. Speed Stick's no-nonsense formula gives you 110% protection. Like you, it never quits.
By minute.
Which hotel has the right rates and the right rooms for business travelers? Last year, 14 million people found the answer. Ramada.
Saturday, Jeff's a kid when it comes to Halloween.
E pluribus unum, which where I come from means I'm not wearing any drawers.
It's a frightfully funny Foxworthy. Then, Cloris Leachman guest stars as the eccentric relative from hell.
I feel a little threatened by the closeness you two share.
Maybe this time. And Disney Films presents Bette Midler in a Halloween tale of 3 wacky witches from Salem, and they're running amok. Hocus Pocus. It's an all-new Saturday.
Today's program on KBC-TV is being brought to you in part by UPS.
Some run, some swim, some jump. But only one Olympic team will lift, pack, and ship their way to Atlanta from around the world. From athletic equipment to telecommunications equipment that will help bring the games to the world. If they're here, chances are the company that guarantees delivery from around the globe got them here. Excepting those who made it entirely on their own. UPS, worldwide Olympic sponsor.
Good morning. I had a speech written, but I think it's better I speak to you from my heart.
The Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. When you face the most important financial decisions of your life, turn to the Prudential. Peace of mind, it comes with every piece of the rock. From our New York studios, your host, John Saunders.
Washington has a 13-0 lead over USC as the Trojans try and avoid their second consecutive loss. We'll get you the second half in just a moment. But first, the scores and highlights. Number 1 team in the nation, Florida State, is off this week. So Coach Tom Osborne hoping he can pick up in the polls. John Hessler intercepted by Terrell Farley, who returns it down to the Colorado 14, leading to Amon Green's touchdown run, his second of the game, 14-7. And Tommy Frazier through the air 53 yards to Chester Johnson. 21-7 for Frazier. Another touchdown pass on the year, number 12, tying a career high. John Hessler has thrown a touchdown pass for Colorado, and Heath Irwin has a fumble recovery for a touchdown after a offensive fumble, 21-14, but Nebraska has the ball on the 8-yard line of Colorado. We'll keep you updated on that one. Florida ranked number 3, hoping Nebraska loses today, facing Georgia, and the mascot didn't have to bow for very long. Danny Werfel, 24 yards to Chris Doring, 21-0 at that point. Danny Werfel again, 11 yards to Doring, and at this point, a 28-0 game. Georgia had given up 26 points in their last 3 games combined. It took a little more than a quarter to get that done today. 28-3 is the score there. Minnesota against Michigan. The young Canadian, Tim Biakabatuka, takes off through a bunch, finds the opening, takes it the rest of the way for his first touchdown of the game, 52 yards. Michigan led 7-0. He's added a 16-yard touchdown run, 21-0, as Brian Gracie has also thrown a touchdown pass to Amani Toomer. Arizona State against Oregon. Michael Martin has a 5-yard touchdown run. Arizona State leading this one 14-3. Boston College against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. The Irish has lost each of the last 2 years, and right now they lead 10-7. Ron Paulus, a 17-yard touchdown pass to Mark Edwards. Amari Walker has a 2-yard touchdown run for Boston College. For the Alabama Crimson Tide, a little tune-up before they continue the SEC wars, going up against North Texas today. Jason Mills has a 1-yard touchdown run for North Texas, but Cedric Samuels with a 15-yard interception return for a touchdown. Alabama struggling at halftime over unranked North Texas. Houston against Texas A&M. Houston actually scored first in this game. A&M has come roaring back. Corey Pullig has 2 touchdown passes, 31-7. Texas Tech against New Mexico, and they lead by 10, 17-7. Zebby Lethbridge has a touchdown run. Oklahoma ranked number 23, and right now against Missouri, leading at 13-9. Gerald Moore, a 41-yard touchdown run. Michigan State absolutely blown out by Wisconsin, 45-14. Darrell Bevel, 3 touchdown passes, 17 of 27, 265 yards and 3 touchdowns. Wisconsin defense, 7 sacks, and they forced 5 turnovers. Oregon State facing Stanford and trailing 17-3. Adam Salina had a 5-yard touchdown run, and Anthony Bookman a 37-yard touchdown run. Clemson's been on a bit of a roll in the ACC if you discount the struggles against Florida State, but facing Georgia Tech in this one, 24-3, they have the lead. And Emery Smith, the story, that's Emmitt Smith's younger brother, 26 carries for 100 yards, about 4 yards a carry and a touchdown. Emmitt Smith over his 3-year career, 23 100-yard games, so he's got some work to go. That's just the second of his career. Virginia Tech over West Virginia, 27-0, so they're number 2 behind Syracuse in the Big East. Their defense giving up just 15 yards rushing, and their second shutout in a row, first time since 1962. And Temple, you know they got the win against Pitt, so they're off to Schneid in the Big East. 10-7 right now. They have the lead over Miami. Ryan Clements does have a touchdown pass of 77 yards, but Miami is down in this one. Right now, I'll listen to the Washington band as we look at more scores and tell you Troy Davis had 202 yards rushing today. He's now 1,526 for the season as Iowa State over Oklahoma State, 38-14. Updating Nebraska over Colorado. They punched it in. Chris Brown with a touchdown, 24-14.
Financial concerns, medical problems, anxiety about the future, the loss of a loved one, the pressures we all face, the emotions we all experience. 50 million Americans, 1 out of every 5 of us, have found they can cope better, feel more secure, actually improve their lives by turning for help to one particular company. A company whose sole purpose has always been to provide its customers with products and services that bring them to a different state of mind. Peace of mind, security, protection, preparation, optimism, peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
The internet.
Billions of miles of cable connecting millions of people, including some of the best and brightest minds in the country, the students and alumni of the Pac-10 universities. To advertise your full-time, part-time, or internship opportunity, contact your Pac-10 Career Center or call JobTrack online. 1-800-999-TRACK.
Welcome back once again to the Prudential Halftime Report. Your second half is coming up, but still some time for more scores and highlights, beginning with the number 4 team in the nation. Many people think Ohio State is the best club in the country, and Bobby Hoying, one big reason why. He finds Terry Glenn here. Hoying 8 of 16 for 273 yards and 2 touchdowns. Eddie George, 15 carries for 110 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's in about a half of work. And Terry Glenn, 3 receptions for 149 yards, averaging almost 50 every time he put his hands on the ball, and 2 touchdowns. South Carolina against Tennessee was supposed to be a matchup of great quarterbacks. It was Peyton Manning all the way. 35 yards to Joey Kent here. 21-0 was the lead at that point as Tennessee rolls in this one. Running back Jay Graham, 16 carries for 126 yards and a touchdown. 7th consecutive game over 100 yards. Steve Tannehill was sacked 3 times in the game. Peyton Manning, though, 16 of 20, 215 yards. In his last 3 games, 11 touchdowns and just 1 interception. 75% completion rate. Kansas against Kansas State. K-State lost last week. Kansas still unbeaten until Matt Miller goes 20 yards to Kevin Lockett. 16-7 was the score at that point. Kansas State rolls over their cross-state rival. 41-7 is the final, as Kevin Lockett had 2 touchdown receptions, both from Matt Miller. Northwestern against Illinois. Northwestern's been the surprise of the year. Robert Holcomb, though, 7 yards on this touchdown run. The Illini take a lead of 14-0. But Darnell Autry from 1 yard out on 4th down takes it in. Northwestern takes the lead for good, 17-14. Illinois with one last chance. Hail Mary, but is picked off in the end zone by Eric Collier. And Northwestern pulls off yet another victory, 17-14, as they remain unbeaten in the Big Ten. Darnell Autry, 9 consecutive games with over 100 yards on the ground, 41 carries, 151 yards, and a touchdown. For more on that outstanding Northwestern program, here's Lewis Johnson.
John, thank you. And hey, Northwestern has done it again. They've knocked off another Big Ten team, this time in Champaign. They beat the Illini by a score of 17-14. Now, Coach Gary Barnett earlier in the season adopted an anthem by a singer that reflects endurance. Now, if you think that anthem has given them a lot of high hopes, you're right.
Just what makes that little old lamb think he'll move that rubber tree plant? Anyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant, but he's got high hope.
They were the bumbling Wildcats for decades, taking solace in being the brains of the Big Ten. Well, 1995 has been the revenge of the nerds.
Bring it on!
Head coach Gary Barnett started his tenure by promising to take his team to the Rose Bowl for the first time since 1949. Many took it as a joke, but no one's laughing now.
It's an exciting atmosphere. People go to the games and they expect us to win. They know we're going to win. I walk by people and they say, we're just going to tear them up and this and that. And I like to hear it in them. I like to hear it.
Although perfect in the Big Ten, the 95 Wildcats have felt some growing pains. An embarrassing loss at Miami of Ohio served as a reminder of rotten play past. And in old Northwestern style, kicker Sam Balanzizi tore his ACL during an overexuberant celebration, ending his football career. The road to Pasadena is paved with Lions, Hawkeyes, and Boilermakers. So the Wildcats have got to be serious. But even Coach Barnett admits this team is fun to watch.
When you take the field now, you just feel this confidence when they take it. And it's like, boy, I can't wait to watch what these guys are going to do today.
Now, Northwestern's only loss this season against Miami of Ohio actually happened at home, but they still remain undefeated in the Big Ten. Next week, they've got a huge game against Penn State at home, and they need to win this game to keep those Rose Bowl dreams alive. John?
All right, Lewis, thanks a lot. And many of you will see that Northwestern-Penn State game right here on ABC next week. Penn State, how did they do today facing Indiana, trying to keep their faint hopes alive for the Rose Bowl? Chris Ditto is picked off by Aaron Collins, and he returns this one 80 yards for the touchdown. There was not much of a contest in this one. 14-0 at that point. 45-21 was the final. Indiana with 5 turnovers in the game, and they're winless in the Big Ten. Terry Killens had a terrific day on defense. 4 sacks, blocked a punt, returned for a touchdown, 1 forced fumble, and 7 tackles. So the standings in the Big Ten look just like this. Northwestern on top right now at 5-0. The Ohio State Buckeyes, the only team with the fate in their own hands. They win all the rest of their games in the Big Ten, and they will be headed to the Rose Bowl. TCU against Baylor, 27-24 the final. Gerard Douglas had 2 touchdown runs, 28 yards and 6 yards. And Columbia blown out by Princeton, 44-14. Princeton with 7 interceptions, tying an Ivy League record. We'll continue with more of the Prudential halftime report in just a moment. First, some more scores. Joe Elrod, a 1-yard touchdown run with 59 seconds left, gives Richmond the win over James Madison.
Pretty obvious. We have to move.
So how do we find out how much our house is worth?
The Rock is the answer.
We think we have enough for a down payment.
Now we need an agent to show us what we can afford.
The Rock is the answer.
We've been talking about this transfer for 6 months.
Yeah, now they want me yesterday.
So where do we find someone who knows how to get this house sold fast?
The Rock is the answer. The Prudential Real Estate Affiliates.
A new set of academic standards for freshmen is now in effect. To practice, play, and receive an athletic scholarship, freshmen will need a minimum grade point average in at least 13 core courses in high school and a corresponding minimum score on the ACT or SAT. Ask your coach or guidance counselor about these new requirements. Remember, it's never too early to hit the books.
This message provided by the NCAA.
Welcome to the Tour Championship, everybody. I'm Brad Musburger. Yesterday on the 14th green, Brad Bryant with this putt for a birdie. And that helped Brad Bryant take the second round lead at the Tour Championship. They are playing for a total purse of $3 million. Third round coverage is coming up from Tulsa, Oklahoma here on ABC.
The Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. When you face the most important financial decisions of your life, turn to the Prudential. Peace of mind, it comes with every piece of the rock.
That's about all the time we have. We'll get you out to the second half in just a moment. But first, a reminder of what we have coming your way next Saturday on ABC's College Football. Regional action starting at 3:30 Eastern Time. Penn State taking on the surprise Northwestern. LSU against Alabama. Some of you will see Stanford against USC in the Pac-10. Syracuse and Virginia Tech, or a game out of the Big Ten, Michigan and Michigan State. Your kickoff is next.
At BASF, we don't make the mattress, we make it softer. We don't make the boots, we make them drier. We don't make the house, we make it livelier. We don't make the snowboard, we make it stronger. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
All right, gentlemen, tomorrow, your butts are mine. Lights out.
Man, I'm hungry. Russell Athletic Wear is made to handle the toughest situations on and off the field.
Hot dog. French fries. Hamburger. Tacos. Tacos grande. Pizza.
Coach?
Going somewhere, ladies. Hard work. Dedication. Commitment.
Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Get up there, Lord, bud. Go, go.
You build a race
razor with a precision groove to help the Norelco lift and cut system shave closer than ever before. And what do you get? The Norelco razor, our closest shave ever.
Yeah, I took the high endurance challenge from Old Spice because I didn't really think it could work better than my old deodorant. But it does. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a stick of yours. Now you got proof. Guaranteed.
Visa salutes American Olympic champions. In 1984, the Olympics provided a platform for handicapped athletes. And Sharon Hedrick turned in a great performance in the 800 meters.
They are strong, they're powerful, and they take a great deal of pride. They go to win this thing.
Hedrick set a new world record. In continued support of amateur athletics, Visa today is proud to donate another $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team to support future Olympic hopefuls in their quest for the gold.
You're cruising at 13,000 feet. Winds are moderate, sky is clear, a perfect day to jump. It's blue sky skydiving outside Seattle, where you can see the world at 160 miles an hour. So if you're crazy enough to try it, make sure you're smart enough to bring your Visa card, because at Blue Skies, American Express just won't fly. By the way, they do insist you pay first. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Well, at halftime, it's homecoming weekend here in Seattle at the University of Washington. And all the homecoming blankets draped around the fans as the Huskies make their way out for the second half, 13-0 in the Battle of Seattle. The Huskies have got USC on the ropes. They're way ahead on points, but the key is it's only 13-0, Dick.
There are only two big plays out of this football game, really, and they would be very naive to believe this is over.
Well, in the Battle of Seattle, it's not just the players, folks, but also the officials who get caught up in the action, because Bob Beal, the head linesman, took a real shot as a play developed over on the sideline, and he suffered a contusion to the head and a laceration to the nose, and he's bleeding from the nose, and he is being tended to by the fight doctor.
And a coach didn't do that.
No, a coach did not do that. Tempo was established early. Beautiful run by Sheehy.
Sheehy bounces to the outside, good blocking at the point. It bounces all the way outside, good speed. He gets finally knocked out of bounds on it, but he sets up the field goal with that run.
And they got ahead 3-0, and obviously John Robinson got to be concerned about his team bouncing back after that loss to Notre Dame last week.
Well, I thought they'd come back very aggressive, but this still is not over. As I said, here's the guy that sets the tempo for this football team. He plays offense with a defensive linebacker mentality.
That's Leon Neal, seeing his first action in 3 weeks, and are the Washington Ghouls out for USC? Well, as Halloween approaches, they have been so far. And Dick, the victor keys for USC.
Well, they said to start quick. Well, they have not started quick. Maintain first down play success. They haven't done a good job there. Force Washington into 3rd and long. It's 3rd and 6 on the. They're converting 50%. Not a good job in any way. Washington, on the other hand, keep Deshaun Johnson's yards after the catch to a minimum. They've done a great job. Convert 3rd down situations over 50%, end up plus and turnovers are +1.
We're set to go as Wales sends it off to start the second half, and Miller in the end zone will keep it right there. And so USC will start it at the 20, and let's check in with Jackaroo. Jack?
Well, Roger, you and the coach were talking about the concerns that John Robinson had, and we also heard it in the soundbite about losing one's rhythm after that devastating loss to Notre Dame. Well, that's exactly what's happened, and that's what Robinson was talking about at halftime. In fact, just before halftime, he gathered his troops around the sidelines, and he said, guys, we've got to play our game. So far, they haven't. Their lackluster performance is evident, and you can see it even on the sidelines. Their balloon has been deflated.
Otten is back in at quarterback, and they go to the running game, and Chorak says no running game today against the Dogs.
If you look at the numbers, it's just glaring. Actually, you would think the score would be wider or more points scored by the Huskies. Look at this. 17 plays, 44 plays, 3 first downs, 15 first. Look at down here, plus 14 minutes. They're doing everything right, but they only have a 13-point lead.
How about the 4 rushing yards?
That's unbelievable.
2nd down and 11. That was Washington on the first carry, and they throw to, well, Keyshawn Johnson was one of the players there. Also there was Chris Miller, number 2, was in the same direction,
And it was incomplete, obviously, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 11.
Look at these possessions. 3 punt, 3 punt, 4 punt, 4 punt, 3 fumble. Nothing. They've got to get the offense going, keep the defense off the field.
And so far, Dick, they're 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. They average 54% on the year.
And they're better than this.
3 wide receivers for Otten. He was getting the blitz. Keyshawn Johnson with the catch, and Johnson to the 40-yard line.
Randy Hart, defensive coordinator, called a weak corner blitz. He got the ball off just in time.
Penalty marker. Greenlaw was a man blitzing.
Before the snap, false start, offense, 5 yards in the previous spot, still 3rd down. Will the timer reset the clock?
Man, that kills you. That just kills you.
It was a beautiful throw, good route, got a few yards after the catch. And John says, I can't believe how we're playing.
USC 7 penalties already today, 49 yards.
Tillman said, well, he came in averaging over 9 penalties a game. That's too many.
Now it's 3rd down at 16.
The advantage is to the defense, obviously.
Keyshawn Johnson comes to the slot on the near side. They try to throw it underneath. The intended receiver, Chris Miller.
He's got to make that catch. He was going to get hit, but he's got to make that catch. If they're going to get back in this football game, the young receivers have got to step up and make some plays.
And now this crowd gets back into it immediately.
Yes. Here's Lawyer Malloy, really a true fine safety and a great hitter. He responds up there, but he hasn't been called upon to make many plays. They haven't allowed the ball to cross the line of scrimmage.
Stonehouse in the end zone. This is his 247th career punt. He's now kicked footballs over 10,000 yards in his USC career as Neil slipped. He's down at the 46-yard line, but real good field position.
Now what they have to do is do a good job of defense in the screen. In the first half, they threw 3 screens for over 50 yards. The screens are not that tough to defense. They've got to stop that play right off the bat.
41 yards on the punt by Stonehouse, and the field position for the University of Washington.
Mike Reiner, the offensive coordinator, talking to the quarterbacks.
We have the 3 top-rated passers in the Pac-10 in this game, in Heward, Otten, and Waholtz. You don't get that often in one game. As Conwell shifts out of the fullback position, and Leon Neal goes right behind him across midfield to the 49.
Yes, I mean, he's a devastating blocker, and, you know, he's good enough as a tight end blocker, though he's not that big, to block the big defensive lineman. He has great strength in the legs.
Well, Jack Arud, what's going on with Rashawn Sheehy? We haven't seen him since early in the game.
And, Roger, you probably won't see much of him. All that has happened to Rashawn Sheehy is he has sprained his thumb. But in talking to Jim Lambright, he said, look, so far Leon Neal has done such a terrific job. He says, we're going to stay and ride Neal as far as we can. Kind of ironic, isn't it, guys? You got a good horse, ride him. Injury took Sheehy into the game, and now an injury brings Neal back into the game.
All right, Jack, thank you very much. He had that thumb problem from a week ago, and there was a lot of concern coming into this game as Neal gets the carry about who would be available at tailback, and it wasn't until early in the week that Neal started to turn around.
That's right. They were not sure that he was going to be able to play today. Washington possessions. Look at the number of plays. 9 plays, field goal, 9 plays, punts, missed field goal, touchdown, field goal, 3 plays, missed field goal. Still not getting enough out of all those plays. And, you know, you look at that, too, as you notice those were all started drives in their own field position. Those are long drives.
Yeah, except for that very last one at the end of the first half. 3rd down and 3, and Heward wants to call a timeout. So with 12:47 left to go, 3rd quarter here in the battle in Seattle, it's been all Washington.
Oh yeah, I'm a Grand Prix kind of guy.
I just hate it when we have to hurry.
Who's she kidding? She's just itching to fire up our new Grand Prix and book.
When you get big and right up front, you'll really appreciate the dual airbags.
Come on, Mom, this is a Pontiac. I heard her telling Dad how much punch that V6 had. You want to drive?
And since we saved more than $1,000 over the tour, we started our college nest egg.
Look, freeway, 1 mile.
We'll have to take the freeway after all.
Driving excitement, Pontiac. Yeehaw!
There are 2 kinds of people in the world. Those who say they'll get around to it, and those who actually do. For those who've discovered there's greater satisfaction in putting things up than in putting them off, we present VersaPack from Black & Decker, a rechargeable battery system that powers an entirely new line of cordless tools. From now on, it's how things get done.
It's color printing, and it's state-of-the-art. It's flyers. It's proposals. It's Crayola and Hallmark Connection software. And putting your very own logo on a t-shirt. So it's not business as usual. It's what you can do with a new Canon Color Bubble Jet printer. Canon, what can you do?
Sunday, it's football like you've never seen it before. Willis, Wales, the last Boy Scout, Sunday on ABC, parental discretion advised.
Welcome back. Washington 13-0 over USC. And look at this. The Huskies have won 32 of the last 35 home games, and the senior class, these are fifth-year seniors, are 26-2 at home. And their last Pac-10 loss was against this USC team in 1993. Neal busts through, and he will go all the way. Touchdown!
Great blocking by the two tight ends at the point of attack. That was Conwell and Cleveland, 82-85. They just drilled the defense.
46 yards on the touchdown run by Leon Neal.
Here they come off the ball. They're knocking off Marcus Bonds off the ball. They peel off, get another block downfield there. Excellent combination blocking scheme right there. They gave the ball to the right guy with a hole that big. He's going to score.
Wow. Wales to attempt the point after. Courtney takes it. The backup quarterback puts his head down, leans in, and gets the 2.
Well, up at 19, that's the right thing to do, to go for 2. But that was a unique way to go for 2. Here it is. Snap right to Courtney. He's a quarterback. He has very, very good speed. And old tricky Jim Lambright comes up with another one. Since he took over, Jim Lambright has kicked 7 onside kicks, recovered 6 of them. He's tried fake field goals. He's tried fake punts. He likes to do the different thing in the obvious situation.
It was the right call at the right moment.
Yeah. And all those things are determined by game plan and tape evaluation. You see little flaws in defensive alignment positions, and you figure you can take advantage of it. Good call. Look at this. Leon Neal, 18 rushes, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. He deserves it.
And 233 all-purpose yards when you count in the punt and kick returns.
He might get tired.
Hey, you know what? If he'd have played all year, he might have been in the Heisman race.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, you know, he had nearly 400 yards after his first 4 games.
Yeah.
What might have been, but what is happening right now. And there is Napoleon Kaufman, who Neal waited so patiently behind all those years.
All that time.
And finally moved into the starting job this year and then was hurt. And Rashawn Sheehy came in to establish himself, and now Neal back in there doing a terrific job as Wales sends it downfield, and it'll be brought out by Anthony Volson. And he is nailed right at the 11-yard line.
Jerry Jensen.
Yeah, Jensen.
He likes to hit people. Here's an end zone shot of that touchdown play. Now, devastating blocking here by the 2 tight ends. Watch these 2 young men come off the ball. They come off in combination. Now they come off. He frees it right there. He came off the 1 block, kicks back out. Here's the alley. Big, big hole. Roger, you could run through that one.
I could have, Coach. If Kessie can run down there at 3:15, I could do it. Now USC has got to get busy. 1st and 10. Washington takes it across the 15 up to the 18-yard line, where John Fiala, Lawyer Malloy make the stop.
You know, I was talking to you that, boy, they better not try to sit on the lead, because, you know, the Trojans can come back. They go 3 plays, 53 yards in a minute, 31 seconds. They're not sitting on anything.
Dick, I'm confused by some statistics I want to ask you in a moment on a 2nd down and 4 with just over 12 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, as Washington will get the call again, and right there is Fiala.
2 linebackers.
How can Washington be ranked number 9 in rushing defense, number 9 in passing defense, and number 8 in total defense in the Pac-10 and look like this defensively?
Well, the reason's their schedule. They play Ohio State, was one of the top running teams in the country. They play Army, it's the wishbone, they run it. They play Oregon State's the wishbone, they run it. It distorts the statistics. It really does.
And on
Plus, they're a much better defensive team than they were then.
Penalties against USC, Lambright says he wants to take it. The other question is, as we heard from John Robinson earlier, talking about the loss at Notre Dame, what about their early season schedule? Not really challenged that much by opponents like San Jose State and Houston.
I think it's a disadvantage for John and his staff to prepare a football team, because you can be disillusioned by beating people and not have to battle in the pits.
Half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. Still 2nd down.
You can't develop the toughness you need in games like this with, beating teams that you should beat easily, and you do,
And they stumbled a bit against Cal and Washington State before that Notre Dame game. Now 2nd down and 13. The ball back at the 9-yard line. They'll give it to Rodney Sermons, and Sermons just gets a couple. Not much happening in Zinc. Aliaga, one of the first men to hit him, and also there Fiala, who is really playing big. And what a gratifying day this must be for Fiala, who was offered a scholarship to USC, but chose to walk on here at Washington.
Walked on right here, and he walked on to the right place. He loves it up here, obviously. He's a Bellevue, Washington kid, nominated for Academic All-American, really a smart young man in sociology.
3rd down and 10. Otten will throw it to Johnson, who makes the catch as he gets across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
They had him covered inside out, but Tony Parrish, the safety, number 7, got over there too late. The coverage called by Randy Hart, the defensive coordinator, was perfect. He knew where he was going to throw the ball. Parrish didn't get there quick enough to intercept it. They're not allowing Keyshawn to make many yards after the catch.
1st and 10. Handoff, right up the middle. Sermons drags a couple of people as he gets up to the 38-yard line. John Fiala and Lawyer Malloy.
Good job by the big inside of the offensive line that time. They turned the defensive tackles out and gave him that hole up inside to run. Good job by the guards.
Lawyer Malloy, as you take a look at him, a junior from Tacoma, 6'2", 205. He has made 76 tackles this year. Leads Washington in that category. They're trying to set the screen up. Well covered. Fiala was all over Sermons, and good pressure that time. Number 20, Iaiku Malloy was back there. Well, we saw Keyshawn Johnson make a catch a few moments ago, and I had a chance to ask him about the 2-quarterback system that USC uses.
That's funny that you would ask that question, because in the Notre Dame game this past week, I was talking to Kyle, and I was saying, you didn't even throw me a pass. And he said, dude, I hit you like 4 or 5 times, and I had no idea at all. So, I really...
He just doesn't even know who's in there sometimes. And going down is Otten. The man was Suki Wiggs.
Suki Wiggs is coming alive. We watched him in the game tapes last week. I didn't think he played that well. Today, he has been spectacular. Good acceleration off the rush when once he beat the guard, closed on the quarterback quickly and puts him down.
21 sacks now for Washington this year, and for Wiggs, his first sack of the season. And Dick, they've got to punt it for the 6th time today.
Good thing they have a good punter. He's able to be tired by the end of the game.
I'll tell you what, he is a good one. Stonehouse from the 15-yard line, a senior from Pasadena, and a penalty marker goes down. And the ball is down at the 33-yard line. We've got a flag down. And a holding against USC. I'll tell you, Dick, I don't, is it more Washington or is it more USC just being flat so far today?
Well, I'm not saying they're flat. They're just getting whipped.
Yeah.
Now, you know, always.
Well, then that's Washington.
Yeah, you just want to say, you know, you can say they're mentally flat. I just think they're playing just like they did against Notre Dame last week. The same type of football. Here's the holding right in the middle, left side of your screen, right here. You'll see there's the holding.
John Allred. backup tight end.
Yes.
But against Notre Dame, Dick, they had 4 times inside the 10-yard line, and they came away with 3 points.
Turned it over twice down in there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a good enough team to beat Notre Dame. They're a good enough team to beat these people today, but not playing like they're playing. Now, if it's mental, it's mental. I don't know what it is, but right now, they're not playing well.
Well, going into the Notre Dame game, they had 3 turnovers this year. They had 4 in that game against Notre Dame. And, you know, you go back, well, did John Robinson put too much focus on that game? Was it too big of a game? Had it been too long a time since USC had defeated Notre Dame? Or is, it the fact that maybe they just hadn't played a tough enough schedule to get them ready for a big game like that?
I think that's more of it than anything. I really do. You can be disillusioned. You can get your ego and your confidence can be distorted by just the number of wins when you don't critically evaluate who you beat.
And there you see their schedule. As Stonehouse now sends a beautiful punt. Neal running back at the 35, eludes one tackler, gets by another man. I'll tell you, he's a tough kid. To the 42-yard line, Leon Neal. Marvin Powell came down to make the tackle. 9:19 to go in the third.
Here we go. Whopper Junior value meal. Whopper for me and a double Whopper.
Thanks, man.
Double Whopper. I'm scared of you.
It's good. It's as big as the American way. Big cars, big houses, big food.
At Burger King, get the flame-broiled taste of a Whopper value meal for just your size appetite at just your size price, starting at $1.99. And get your burger's worth.
And what about moderation?
Moderation's cool, if there's a whole lot of it.
Burger King, get your burger's worth.
It begins with a sound you can feel. Over 200 horses, powerful, almost angry. It knows your mind with steering that feels your speed. It's a new Pontiac Bonneville. So strong, so passionate. It takes the old idea of spending thousands more for a European performance sedan and leaves it at the side of the road. The new Pontiac Bonneville.
Craig Lambert isn't too worried about how to invest for Zach's college education. That's because he works with a broker from Dean Witter. Together, they developed a long-term investment plan to help take Zach wherever he wants to go.
Clients feel most comfortable with our ability to see things from their perspective.
Now, when Craig looks into his son's eyes, he can see the future and smile. Dean Witter.
We measure success, one investor at a time.
Well, next Saturday on ABC's College Football, more great action coming your way. 12:30 Pacific, 1:30 Mountain Time. Most of you will see Stanford and USC, but check your local listings for the game in your area. Call the cable operator and see what games are available on pay-per-view. That's college football coming your way next Saturday right here on ABC Sports. And I'll tell you, this has been a terrific year, a lot of excitement. And what's going to happen here in the Pac-10? Is it going to be Washington? Is it going to be USC? Can Oregon bounce back? As Neal takes it on the left side again, and he's got the first down across midfield to the 48.
Again, it's an excellent, excellent block by Ernie Conwell right at the point of attack. He's knocking the man off the line of scrimmage. Now, if Israel Effiani would be playing that spot if he were here today. Here's the block right here. Boom, boom, just walking him out of there. Then he gets another good block right there by Sapp. There's the big hole. On the top of your screen is Marcus Bonds, number 90, getting drilled. But see, Conwell has that great strength in his legs. See him lift him and push him right out of there.
Well, they marked him short. They're going to call second and a very short one, and Hewitt wants to throw it, and he is nailed. Coming over the top is 94, George Perry.
That's one of the first times they've really blitzed those inside people. George Perry came, but also Brian Haas, the inside linebacker, came. Good call, good changeup. They need more of that. They've got to gamble on defense. Actually, if Heward would have lit quickly, he could have thrown to a tight end, going right to the sideline there in a straight pattern and popped it to him regardless of the blitz.
Looked like it was supposed to be a real quick pass play.
It was,
yeah,
but he didn't respond properly.
Neal, 19 carries, 125 yards. As you see the sacks and the yards lost. Now it's 3rd down and 7. Now, Washington struggled on 3rd down this year, completing just 36% of their 3rd down situations, and a whistle blows, and too much time taken.
3rd and 7 is tough to convert. When you move to 3rd and 12,
Before
it's
the
much
snap,
tougher.
delay of game, offense, 5 yards from the previous spot, still 3rd down.
Most of the time when you have a delay of the game penalty like that, Raj, it's because the coaches didn't get the signal in quick enough for the quarterback to get it in and out of the huddle.
Doing a good job today on 3rd down, unlike their season average of 35%, 6 of 10 so far today, as Jim Lambright.
But, you know, they took that Notre Dame loss. I mean, they led the game for 57. Washington did. They took that loss, and they've come out of that, and since that time, they have grown every week. They've gotten better, demonstrating it today.
So after a 2nd and just inches, a 3rd and 12 as they set up the screen to Neal, and he's got nowhere to go. USC defended it awfully well. Matt Kennelly and Darrell Russell were the players over there to make the tackle.
You know, many times if it's a zone defense, you'll find people watching the quarterback's eyes and letting them direct him to where the ball's going to go. Now, see, he's watching for the screen. See him looking for the screen. Look at right there. He says, I'm going to throw the ball over here. Defensive lineman did a nice job that time of feeling the screen, feeling the lineman leave and get in that peel-off system, and off they go and make the play.
21-0 on 4th and 17. Jeff Prince stands at his 20. Nice punt. Yeah, Parker running over to the far side. It goes out of bounds, and a penalty marker's down. Penalty marker is down. Penalty marker's down back at the 30. As the ball is spotted at the 31, and the preliminary call is holding against Washington.
They can punt it again. You know, there's so much use of the hands now with the rules as they are, and that you could call holding an awful lot more than they do, maybe every play.
Well, I think the key is if you're going to hold them inside the shoulders, not outside. If you keep the hands inside, you're in better shape than if they're outside.
The other thing is a lot of times the officials don't call holding unless it positively influenced the success of the play.
Well, Eric Battle had a few words for you the other day about talking about him holding.
Yeah, well, I see
he
him
said he
holding.
would appreciate it if you didn't say he held.
Holding, offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, still 4th down.
Your guy Ernie Conwell, by the way, is doing the long snapping on punts. That'll make him even more valuable when Sundays come around next year.
I tell you, I coached for 25 years. I'd love to have an opportunity to coach a guy like that for 20 years. He made my roster. Once he made it, he'd be there for a lifetime. Those kind of guys, that's when you put a talent and attitude all together like that, you've got a real player.
Now Prince back inside the 5-yard line. Conwell will snap it. There's some movement by the USC line, and it's a low line drive kick that will bounce out of bounds on about the 43-yard line.
On that penalty for holding, they gained about 10 yards in field position.
For years, in your passion for performance sedans, you looked to Europe and you paid a painful price. Now there's a new 240 horsepower Pontiac Bonneville. So precise, so responsive, it hardwires your impulses directly to the road. All at a price thousands less than you were prepared to pay. The new Pontiac Bonneville. It makes your passion painless, but no less intense.
Okay, now don't get Grandma too excited.
That's right. The poor dear is probably a bit weak. She has been running on the same Duracell battery since the Ice Age.
Those Duracell batteries sure do last. You can't top the copper top.
This is a document in the digital office where you capture ideas and share them effortlessly. Whether they're on paper or on your screen, this is the space where Xerox works, giving you a simpler way to do good work.
ABC's Monday Night Football, live at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Eric Kramer and the Bears go up against Warren Moon and the Minnesota Vikings. And then Jeff Fahey stars as the Marshal. Action Monday begins at 6 Pacific right here on ABC.
So they're starting out on the 44-yard line right now, Roger. That's the best field position they've had. They've got to open up this attack, and they've got to get the ball downfield.
1st and 10. USC with just 13 rushing yards on 14 carries with 6:39 to go, third quarter. Sermons tackled at the 48-yard line with Jason Chorak. And Jack, what do you got for us on the men of Troy?
Well, Roger, you know, in the press book and also in all of the press releases, one of the big things that's highlighted is please do not refer to the University of Southern California anymore as Southern Cal. Now take a look at this. This is the game day paper here that the Washington Huskies put out. What does it say? Southern Cal. They like to rub salt in the wounds, don't they, guys?
Oh, absolutely, Jack.
You can do it when you're ahead.
When there's a lot of wounds, I'll tell you right now. And a penalty against the University of Southern California. And it's a big one, a 15-yard penalty.
They have almost as many penalty yards as they have total offense. 93 total offense, 83 in penalties.
That was a dead ball personal foul. And so it is moved back to the, let's call it the 34-yard line. 2nd down and 20.
They're showing a double zone look right now.
Otten throwing downfield. Battle. Reeser was there. The catch is made, though, by Chris Miller.
Great catch by Chris Miller. That's the advantage. He's 5'11", good leaping ability. Out of West LA City College, did a real nice job. He's Kazan Johnson's cousin.
Yeah.
Two, that runs in the family, huh? They showed a double zone, and they went man with it rather than turning it into zone, trying to mislead the quarterback. He gets up there, he fights for it, does a nice job going for the ball at its highest point, and actually drops the ball, did not catch it.
Well, Reeser was telling the official that it was no good, and you saw number 9, Lawyer Malloy, saying it was no good. That's the biggest play of the day for USC. 32 yards as Sermons is hammered at the 30-yard line. And Dick, let's take a look one more time at that pass.
The ball right in the middle of your screen. Chris Miller going up, get it. Reeser's going up after it. They come down, feet are down. The ball is free. Bang, it bounces on the turf right there. Nobody possession, incomplete pass, but the officials didn't say it.
Wow. Yeah. 2nd down and 6. Otten now will roll out. Try to instruct his receiver to get downfield just before he's hammered by the law, Lawyer Malloy.
You know, I don't know if they have an audible system in their passing game. They probably do, but that time, Kashawn Johnson was singled up one-on-one with the corner. I mean, and he is impossible to cover one-on-one. They committed 8 people to the front. They had a 3-deep, man-to-man situation. They've got to beat that one-on-one coverage with an audible.
I'm just amazed at the 22 rushing yards, Dick. This is a team averaging over 162 yards rushing a game, better than 4 yards per carry. I mean,
you have to credit Randy Hart and the defensive coaches for doing an outstanding job. Look at 3rd down conversion. Nothing.
And it's 3rd and 6.
Coming after him.
Otten gets it away, and it's going to be short of the 1st down. Malloy was there, one of the players, as Keyshawn Johnson made the catch, but they're not giving him any room to run.
Malloy and Keyshawn Johnson are very good friends. In fact, they talk often.
Now, this is a situation we spoke with John Robinson. You know, he's got his regular field goal kickers injured. They've got a backup in there. He said, you'll probably see me go for it on 4th down around the 25, 30-yard line, and that's what they're going to do here. Trailing 21-0.
They're spreading out the defense, trying to get 7 men to run against rather than 8.
Otten to throw it on 4th down. It's tipped. Oh! Beautiful job by Deke Devers to get a piece of the football. And it goes incomplete, and Iaku Malloy was the man that made the stick to make sure that nobody caught it.
Iaku Malloy came up and hit. He's going to lay it off outside to the right side of your screen. Here comes Deke right there. He bats it. Watch his hit. Wow, man. That really hurts. Woo!
Rodney Sermons needed to say a prayer right
No
there.
place for sissies, I'll tell you that.
Leroy, one of the many Hawaiian kids on this Washington roster. So the 4th down strategy of John Robinson doesn't work, and Washington will take it over, and they give it to Leon Neal, who breaks a couple of tackles, and he gets across the 30 to the 32-yard line.
You know, you really don't need strategy when you've got a guy like that. They come off, run that same play. They really don't block a good place for him to run, but he makes a good run anyway. Earlier, we showed you devastating blockings at the point of attack. This time, they don't get the great blocking. He makes yards anyway.
Now,
Neal wants to run. Here he goes. He's going to find a place. There's not a big crack in there, but he finds it anyway.
Neal has limped off the field, Dick, and Sheehy has now checked back into the game, so
he'll be all right. He's got a thumb, not a foot.
That's Sheehy who's got the thumb, but Neal had the turf toe coming into this game. So Sheehy tries the right side, and nothing's going right there as Matt Kennelly, one of the first players to meet him, and also there Brian Haas, 41.
Brian Haas has played the run real well. He really has. They used tight end in motion as a wingback position there, brought him across. Here's Sheehy right in the middle of your screen. He knows he's going to carry. He's reading the blocks. And a nice job again by Brian Haas. He's really playing his heart out. You know, he's also an outstanding student. He was first-team academic All-Pac-10 last year. Smart linebacker, playing like a physical linebacker.
3.9 grade point average for Haas, who's got 6 tackles.
It's a little higher in yours than mine.
Just a little bit.
Maybe combined.
I made the dean's list one semester. My dad thought I was in trouble. Long pass down the far sideline to Pathan. I'm not kidding you. He got this thing. He called me up. He says, "What's this? What'd you do now?" I got your. What are you on the dean's list?
Yeah.
I said, "No, it's good.
That was honor roll.
That was good. I did it one time." That'll bring up a 4th down situation for Washington with 3:03 to go.
That was a good defensive series. It really was.
We're told that Leon Neal is cramped up a little bit, but should return as Jeff Prince standing back at the 15.
SC will come back. I think Mike Riley will stretch the defense. They'll send Kashawn deep, and it maybe bring somebody underneath him if they can't get it deep, but stretch it, get it down there. Still have, you know, long time, 18 minutes to play. That's a return type ball if you can get a hold of it. That's low and getting there too quick.
Parker at the 25-yard line gets a couple of good blocks, and he is driven out of bounds over at the 42. Down there to drive him out by the Huskies was Jesse Binkley. And college football on ABC Sports brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. And Canon, who reminds you there's so much more you can do with a new color bubble jet printer from Canon. Roger Twaddle, Dick Vermeil, and Jack Arute here in beautiful Seattle Husky Stadium.
You know, USC came into this ballgame with real good success throwing the ball, the combination of the 3 tight ends. You know, they came in with 30 receptions. They aren't catching the ball today. They got to get the ball in their hands as well.
I don't think McWilliams, Cashman, or Allred have caught a pass today. As Otten on 1st and 10 will go deep. Keyshawn Johnson up in the air, and Greenlaw knocks it away.
Good call by Mike Riley. That stretches him. That's what he's got to do.
Well, Colorado-Nebraska is a big game today. And, John, what's happening out there in Boulder?
Roger, it looked like Nebraska was in command. 4th down for Colorado, and John Hessler's going for it all. He finds James Kidd, 49 yards for the touchdown. Colorado right back in it, down by 10. Roger.
John, thanks a lot. You know, Colorado had to come from behind to beat Iowa State last week as the short pass across the middle caught by Washington. And Washington has got the 1st down to the 43-yard line where Ink Aliaga and Tony Parrish make the tackle.
Real nice job by Brad Otten. Roger, they went double coverage on him down there. He looked downfield. He wanted to go downfield. Presence of mind to look for his check down. This is what he's got to do. Find that little check down when it's not downfield. He can't get it there. Drop it off. Get that yardage. Get it moving.
1st and 10, 43-yard line. Pressure on Otten. He's caught from behind. It looked like Devers, but he got rid of the football. And look at Washington. out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That was unbelievable.
You know, Otten is creating a situation and a decision for the fourth quarter. He's making some plays right now. Because John has to decide, am I going to take him out? Tough decision. He's starting to make some plays. That was a courageous job right there. They had him. Coming from the left side of your screen. You'll see the pressure. Here it comes. Devers, number 43. He just pushes it out
Shovel
there.
pass.
Yeah, like an option.
That was just the 5th reception this year by the sophomore DeLon Washington, and movement by 77 John Michaels.
John Michaels can't do that.
Before the snap, full start, offense, 5 yards from the previous spot, still first down.
Sometimes that happens, Roger, when you're going to go on a quick count and the defense yells something and pulls you off. I don't know, but boy, you've got the offense moving. Everyone's got to gain their poise and put it all together.
USC 11 penalties, 90 yards. On first down and 15. Both wide receivers split to the near side. Sermons, the ball carrier, breaks a tackle and runs right into the wall. Lawyer Malloy.
When you run into Lawyer Malloy, he puts you down. Boy, does he hit you. You know, he's a good knee bender. What I mean by that, Rod, is he bends those knees and he uncoils in the proper rhythm to strike somebody like a good punch, or, you know, good heavyweight boxer does here in the Battle of Seattle here. Now watch this. Boom! See, he can bend his knees.
Second down and 8. Sermons the deep back, Otten will throw it underneath, and not much happening right there for Terry Barnum as John Fiala and Tony Parrish were there to make the tackle.
They were in a robber coverage where they take that safety, that time Tony Parrish, number 7, and he shows it too deep, gives the quarterback the idea that he's going to go too deep. He doesn't go too deep. He inverts, he moves forward, looking for an inside pattern. He was right there. Lucky it wasn't intercepted.
Third down and 4, but this is 4-down territory now for USC. They're 1 of 8. In third down conversions, they missed that 4th down attempt on their last possession. As Otten will look at Johnson, he makes the catch and he drags the defender down inside the 5. That was Reggie Reeser, 5'10", 180 against 6'4" and 215.
See, they took the 4-4 defense that time, moved it to a bear defense. They took the 4-4, shifted it into a bear defense. You'll see it move. Run it just a second now, and we'll freeze it. See it move? Then freeze it. Here comes the blitzer. It's tough to pick him up. The running back sees him. That allows the slant pattern. Good job, good offensive adjustment on the move.
Johnson now 7 receptions, 92 yards, first and goal. Sermons can't get in there. Stopped at the 1. Reggie Reeser was the first man to hit him. Also, David Ritchie had him around the ankles.
You know, last week against Notre Dame, as we've said a couple times, they get down here. The first time they get the ball, they take it down. Offense is playing super. They're going to score, and they get the ball knocked out at the point of exchange by a linebacker jumping right up over the pile. They can't do that today.
A second and goal from the 1. Stanford leading big over Oregon State. Seconds remaining, third quarter. Sermons tries it again. No, not close. Ritchie, once again, was in there early, and Greenlaw came on to finish him off.
Good penetration. See, they're getting underneath the offensive lineman, and they can't get any push that way. This offensive line is very big. Dorito over there at 6'7", 325. Pounds over there next to him at 6'7", 310. But if the defender gets underneath him, they can't move anybody.
And we've completed 3 quarters, and we'll return with more action between USC and Washington after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Today, a woman needs a life insurance plan of her own.
State Farm sells life insurance from an agent who's there for you today and there tomorrow, too. You see, we start you out right with a plan specifically designed for a woman's needs. One that protects the people who count on you for so very much. And the State Farm agent will be there tomorrow, too, as your life changes, to keep that plan working for the people you love.
State Farm sells life insurance.
Get on your Pontiac and drive, drive, drive.
Did you ever dream of driving in a Grand Prix? The sound of a 215 horsepower, 24-valve engine roaring to life. The hold of the 4-wheel independent suspension yearning for the next turn.
the sense of control from a cockpit designed for driving, then you know why the Pontiac Grand Prix is named Grand Prix.
We are driving excitement, Pontiac.
2 new Beatles songs, the most anticipated event in 30 years, an event no one thought would ever happen. The Beatles Anthology, November 19th.
This program on KBC-TV is being brought to you by Mercedes-Benz.
Yoo-hoo! Kevin!
Gotta go.
So, what's this I hear about special deals for friends?
Well, yes, on the 95s. It's the last of them.
But I'm a friend. Don't I get a special deal?
Of course, but you'll have to hurry.
Come again?
I said you'll have to hurry.
That's what I thought you said.
I had a speech written, but I think it's better I speak to you from my heart.
You know, guys, just outside of the University of Washington Stadium is the first technically designed outdoor climbing wall that faculty and students alike use to practice this great outdoor recreation. Fellas, I could use a little help here. Hey, guys.
And in for the touchdown, Rodney Sermons. And Jack, you were hanging on there, and the Trojans were hanging on the ropes in this Battle of Seattle as they finally get on the scoreboard here to start the fourth quarter.
And you know, as dominating as Washington has been, the USC is only 2 plays out of this.
That's right. Adam Rendon to attempt the point after. Freshman from San Diego, taking the place of the injured Adam Abrams, and he is good. So the first play of the fourth quarter, and Rodney Sermons gets a touchdown.
Just a good old isolation lead play right there. You saw big Kyle Ramsey pull and kick out there, number 68. He followed the fullback right up inside for the score.
First touchdown rushing for Sermons this year. You know, some folks might have inquired, Dick, when was the last time the Trojans were shut out? Well, it was right here in Seattle in 1990, 31-0. So they have avoided that scene again.
Well, none of these USC Trojans remember that one because they weren't around that time. Take a look at the numbers after 3 quarters. They might have changed just a little bit, but it's still total domination. Time of possession. Now, yards rushing, USC 29. I would have never guessed that. 182 here. Total yards, 200 to 344. Look at this. This is after 3 quarters now. Look at this right here. 28-16. My gosh. Now it's 21-7.
And Mike Bastianelli, a freshman, will kick it off for USC, and Terry Hallman and Fred Coleman back deep. So Neal is not back deep to return the kickoff. Bastianelli, a highly recruited wide receiver, been pressed into duty as a kickoff man after the injury to Abrams, and that goes out of bounds. So Bastianelli from the East Bay of San Francisco, Oakland area.
Defensively now, as a defensive staff, Keith Burns, who heads it up, the defensive coordinator, Dennis Thurman, the secondary coach, Tim Prukop, the linebacker coach, Rod Marinelli, the defensive line coach, and Joe Barry, the assistant defensive line coach, have got to put their heads together and come up, and they probably say, guys, we got to gamble. We got to go after that football. We got to take it away from them.
Well, in Washington, on the other hand here now, with Damon Heward, would like to put together a good drive, try to establish themselves again, put some distance between themselves and the Trojans, but nothing doing on the left side right there as USC was all over it. And Neal back in the game, gets nothing on that carry as Darrell Russell one of the first men in there.
He really made a nice defensive line play that time, moving inside out, had total control of the offensive lineman all the way down the line of scrimmage, kept his pads low, and as you said earlier, he's a very talented, powerful athlete that's going to be a great defensive lineman once he develops that true temperament that it takes to play it.
Well, Dick, coming into this game, had 21 tackles. 11 of those were tackles for losses, so he is active. He can get behind the line of scrimmage. He can make plays.
Better make a few right now.
On 2nd and 10.
They're in that 5-down lineman defense.
Hewitt throwing it to Coleman, drops the football. All right, Coleman was wide open as Dalen McCutcheon was there on the coverage.
True freshman out of Bishop, Vermont. His dad, of course, Lawrence McCutcheon. I had the opportunity to coach Lawrence McCutcheon when he was at the Los Angeles Rams. What a fine, fine football player. And from what I understand in talking with John Robinson, this young man is a very, very talented football player.
Washington on their last 3 possessions, Dick, 3 and out. They're faced with a 3rd and 10 here. 3 wide receivers, 2 split to the top. Hewitt throwing it near side. The catch made by Desisher.
A critical 3rd down conversion. Losing momentum, as you said, Roger, 3 downs and out. This time they don't go 3 downs and out. Critical throw, good pressure throw. No question that Damon Hewitt has improved. He's going in motion. He pushes up now. Then he's going to make a little stick move and go to the corner. There he is right there. They were in a double zone. Someone blew it.
Did you see Conwell happen to run into that defender who might have needed to go over there with Desisher?
Yeah, might have picked him off.
Yeah, might have picked him off just a little bit. Desisher coming on strong, a redshirt freshman from Woodland Hills, California, on 1st down. Sneaking through the line, Neal gets it right to midfield, where Perry and Fields make the tackle, and a penalty marker goes down. You know, Dick, I'm curious. In the scope of recruiting with Washington, USC, and having been a former coach at UCLA, how big is it for a school like Washington to win a game against USC or even a UCLA? How far does that go in recruiting? Because they do recruit a lot of kids from Southern California.
It can't hurt, and it might help.
Yeah.
You know, really, it can't hurt, and it might help. But it's
dead ball. Personal foul on the offense, 15 yards from the end of the run, and it'll be 2nd down.
They called a personal foul on a wide receiver. I mean, I can't believe that should happen.
Well, why this game is big, folks, since 1960, the winner of the USC-Washington game has advanced to the Rose Bowl 23 times. 15 USC, 8 Washington. And, you know, outside of Oregon last year and then Arizona State a few years back, it's been the UCLA-USC-Washington triangle that's dominated the Rose Bowl.
And John coaching some of those. So,
yes.
I mean, he wants to get them back there. John posted 3 Rose Bowls, if I remember right.
2nd and 23. After that 15-yard penalty. They run the draw and gets absolutely nothing as Kennelly was all over Neal.
You know, the defensive front that time was the 4-down lineman. They feel coming into this ball game, if they go to the 4-down lineman, they could stunt them, meaning cross-charge the defensive lineman. This time, they do the cross-charging with the defensive line. See them stunt there, they cross up there, and actually, they just blew the block up on top there on Kennelly. He just worked them.
Kennelly, good size, 6'5", 285, a junior from Laguna Hills. 32 tackles, 4 sacks on the year. He's another one of those really good student athletes. Had a GPA of 3.9 his last spring. 3rd down and 26. Eward, plenty of time. Penalty marker goes down as Neal makes the catch at the 40 and leans to the 41, but might be a holding call.
I think they called holding on our young left guard there, Patrick Kessie. He's big enough, he doesn't have to hold it. 6'3", 315.
You know, Dick, I go back to the 3rd quarter when Washington had a 2nd and just inches. I don't know if you remember the play. And Heward went back to pass, and he got sacked. And ever since that play, things have been sort of going backwards. I don't know whether that was a little momentum maker for the USC defense or what, but after that, there were 3 times 3 downs and outs, and now they're struggling a little bit.
Offense 10 yards from the spot of the foul. still third down.
Well, I think, too, defensively, they're a little more active up front right now, stunning that down 4. They're back into that 5-down lineman defense. They're doing a little better job of getting some penetration, some quick movement out of those down people. And when the down people dominate up front, that allows the linebackers to make plays.
It's third down and 43. Do you remember the longest third down conversion you ever had as a coach?
I don't. I
Third
don't want to think that.
43. Oh, goodness. That went through the hands of Neal, and that was dangerous. Yeah, he threw it way too hard, and that could have been picked.
Yeah.
If a man happened to be in the right spot.
USC has to start getting a little bit excited. They've got a shot at this thing. They're gaining some momentum. Or, let's say, Washington is losing momentum. One or the other, it's starting to lean that way.
And there's a little history here, because if we go back a few weeks to the Notre Dame-Washington game, it looked for a time like maybe Notre Dame was out of it, and then a couple of mistakes, and all of a sudden, who had the victory? The Fighting Irish.
Well, Jim Lambright, in regard to that, said his positive thing he was selling to his squad since then, we learned how to play 57 minutes of football. Now we have to learn to play 60 minutes. Today they have to play 60 to win.
Prince hangs it up there. Parker slips at the 48-yard line, but USC will have great field position with 12-12 left to go from Husky Stadium. Homecoming weekend here in Seattle.
When I am alone in the half-light of the canyon, all existence fades to a being with my soul and memories. And the sounds of the Big Blackfoot River, and the hope that a fish will rise.
Just not Chili's till you light up the grill, and that means steaks, like our new Solano strip steak and new steak pico, smothered with onions, bell peppers, and 2 kinds of cheese. So round up the gang and herd them on down to Chili's. Chili's grills like no place else.
Hey, sports fans! Hitachi Ultravision destroys the myth that there's nothing like the real thing. So get real with Hitachi and let the games begin. Hello? Attention, theater buffs. With its ultra-clear, ultra-bright, ultra-sharp picture, Hitachi Ultravision asks the question, to be real or not to be? Bet you always thought Hamlet asked that. Ultravision home theater, TVs, VCRs, camcorders, only from Hitachi.
Penn State invades surprising Northwestern. LSU roars into Alabama. Or other conference games in regional action. Next Saturday on ABC's College Football.
And welcome back to Husky Stadium. Roger Twibell, Dick Vermeil, and Jack Arute. 12-12 left to go. And Dick, has the worm turned here? The momentum maybe shifting to USC?
Well, I think it has. And the field position is the reason. First half, they have 3 field positions in a row in the second half. Better than they had at any time in the first half.
And, of course, number 10 still in at quarterback, Otten, as the pass thrown and deflected by David Ritchie.
Good job by David Ritchie. He was blocked. He was held right onto the line of scrimmage. He saw the cock of the arm. He jumped and hit the ball with his right hand. Nice job by David Ritchie. He's coming alive as a football player. To the right side of your screen now, you'll see it. There he is. He knew where he wanted to go. See him jump right there. He's blocked. But presence of mind to get that in good rhythm. Good job by David Ritchie.
6'4", 270-pounder from Kelso. Great high school athlete. Finished third in the long jump when he was a senior.
62 passing yards. 109. They're catching up at 171.
2nd and 10. Penalty marker goes down. They're waving the play off. And, well, as we talked at the top, we might see the same quarterback in the fourth quarter that we saw on the...
I think that was dictated by some positive plays that...
Before the snap, false start on offense, 5 yards from the previous spot, still second down.
Brad Otten came up with some plays, either it be the shuffle throw for a first down, those kind of things. If you get that going, you got to let him play.
Well, we mentioned all of USC penalties, but Washington's got a lot of penalties themselves. 2nd down and 15. With pressure from Ritchie, has to move out, throws on the run, and deflected. Greenlaw got a piece of it, the intended receiver, Chris Miller, but the pressure by Ritchie allowed Greenlaw to come over and make the play.
You know, the other corner, Reggie Reese, we haven't called his name but a couple times. Obviously, they're working away from him or not throwing the ball to Parker, who he's normally the wide side of the field.
Dick, McWilliams, Cashman, Allred, 30 receptions, 8 touchdown catches. They haven't caught a pass today.
We've mentioned that already.
Is there a reason
think we ought to call a play?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, is there a reason they're not getting?
No, they're getting off the line of scrimmage clean, I'll tell you that.
3rd down and 15. 4 receivers in this USC offensive set. As Otten comes down, Greenlaw makes a pick. Scott Greenlaw to the 35-yard line, his 2nd interception of the year. And a penalty flag is down. A senior from Issaquah.
Well, they haven't been working the ball toward Reeser, who is the wide field corner. This time they work it to the short field back over to Greenlaw, and he picks it off. Here's Reeser at the top of your field right there. He's playing one-on-one up there. Good field position, good coverage position right there. So they come to the other side, and Greenlaw, actually they had a double coverage situation. Greenlaw was getting help so he could really play tight. See, a guy in front, hold it right there. See, you got the 2 purple jerseys right there. Should not have thrown that football.
Well, Otten's 216 passing attempts at USC as we take one more look at it here, Dick.
There he is, the left side of your screen. That's Greenlaw. He's going to get help from the safety right now. Here comes Parrish breaking on the ball. Not a good decision to throw that football.
I was going to mention that Otten, his first 216 passing attempts at USC without an interception. He's now thrown 3 in his last 3 games.
It's allowed, but it's bad timing.
There was a clipping on the return by Greenlaw, so Washington's got it. 1st and 10, 20-yard line, 11:47 left to go, and they lead at 21-7. And Neal across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Jesse Davis, Dalen McCutcheon make the stop.
He's an intense guy, and he's in that running in the intense area. He has such confidence that he'll switch the ball from one hand to the other hand so he can free up the arm to stiff arm the appropriate defender. Normally, I would coach a guy to hang on to it at all costs in that intense area. See, now watch him switch it right here. See, he saw the defender coming from his right shoulder. Good poise by an intense young running back. Boy, I love kids that play with the kind of character that this guy has. And I don't think, as deep as his character is, you coach it. It comes from mom and dad.
That's right. 24 carries, 135 yards for Leon Neal. He's got it on the left side. Leans up to the 29.
That's that same double wing formation with 2 tight ends. They've got to throw out of that formation now. Come off that. They have a pass in the game plan off that formation. I'd like to see him use it.
Another penalty flag.
Jen says, hey, you don't have to balance this thing out. For many sakes.
He's a great guy, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He's really terrific.
He's got great rapport with his players and coaching staff.
Take a look at the ABC Sports Board.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Still 2nd down.
22nd penalty of the game as Ohio State, a big winner over Iowa.
They were almost that many points in the first half, weren't they?
Well, I think they finally figured if they're going to get up, maybe ranked in the top 2, they got to start scoring like Nebraska and Florida State.
Kansas State.
That's unbelievable.
Kansas beats Colorado. Kansas beats Oklahoma and loses to Kansas State 41-7. Unbelievable.
You know what? You throw all that stuff out in that game. It doesn't matter. Ask me if I'm sick about it.
Yeah, I know you're.
2nd down and 14. Heward, plenty of time, throws it to Conwell, and Conwell's got the 1st down to the 33-yard line. Big Ernie Conwell.
Very, very clever play. 2nd and long, anticipate his own. So what do they do with Conwell? They pass protect him. He pass protects, and then he checks down on a late. Here he is right here on your screen. He will pass set first. Okay, now defenders quit looking at him. See, now he releases up inside, easy throw, good completion, good call by Bill Dietrich, offensive coordinator.
There's Conwell. I asked him what...
Look at that jaw. Look at that jaw.
I asked him what car he liked to work on and drive. He says, I like those big power Chevrolets.
Look at that jaw.
1st and 10. Neal trying to battle through.
The defense for USC has definitely played better in this second half because they're more movement. They almost played like they're in the first half, like they were stiff. You know, they just didn't fly to the football and hit and recoil and come off blocks. They're doing a much better job of that right now.
And they're working the clock right now, 9:35.
Do you think John Robinson went in at halftime and said, "Man, I'm mad"?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
He might even said, "I'm whizzed."
I think he had a few adjectives he was using. Oklahoma hangs on to beat Missouri, 13-9. Here, the quick drop, throws it to Coleman, comes down. Was it complete? Yes, yeah, 39-yard line. Heward now 15 of 22, Dick, for 200 yards.
Well, as I said in the open, you know, his percent complete is up almost 10% this year, and he's been getting better in the last 3 or 4 ball games. Coaches said that after that Notre Dame game, and they lost it, he said, "I've got 6 games left to play in my career. I'm going to make a personal crusade to take this team to the Rose Bowl."
That's what you need. You need that kind of leadership.
You bet.
Out of the senior. He's got a younger brother, Brock, that's going to be a great quarterback here.
Tight end at fullback position right now.
3rd down and 4. Neal trying to get through and can't get to the first down marker. Across the 40 to the 41-yard line, but couldn't get it done. And look at that. That was Bob Sapp who came up with the football there.
Good defense right that time, Raj. Good defense. No place to find. He wanted to find that daylight, the cutback. They couldn't find it. All the defensive people maintaining the discipline of the call. You know, the only thing they did that time is eat up a little clock time. That's about it.
Bob Sapp made his recruiting visit here. They thought it was his father.
Yeah, he's the oldest looking.
Hello, Mr. Sapp. Where's your son at, Bob?
He's a junior. I swear, when he walked in, you were talking to him in the weight room. I looked at this guy. I said, he's got to be 30 years old.
From Colorado Springs, Bob Sapp has on 4th down. High snap that's handled by Prince, and he gets off a pretty good kick. And Parker drops it, but the man was too close.
Yeah. He's got to give him more room there.
Pathan was too close. And yet another penalty. You know, Pathan's an interesting kid. Was born in South Africa, grew up in Vancouver, went to college his first year in Nova Scotia, all the way on the other side of Canada, and then came here to Washington. And he's starting to get a little bit more time at wide receiver.
He walked on here.
Yeah.
He didn't have a scholarship. They walked a long ways to get here with the trip you just explained.
Yeah, that was a long roundabout way.
Interference with the opportunity to make a catch on the kicking team.
Yeah.
The 2-yard belt was violated.
Yeah.
5 yards from the spot of the foul. First down and 10 for USC.
That was obvious. The rule in college football is defined. You have to give him 2 yards cushion to field the ball, and you can see that he did not get the 2 yards.
Gives you more ways to add the impact of color to black and white documents. Xerox Color, a simpler way to do good work.
25 years together. They've just flown by. 25 years of kids, jobs, moving. I didn't just want to bring her back to her favorite place. I wanted to give her something she's only dreamt of.
The 25th anniversary diamond necklace.
No automotive company has won more races over the last 30 years than Chevrolet.
Well, next Saturday, 12:30 Pacific, 1:30 Mountain Time. Look at these games coming up on ABC Sports College Football. Check your local listings for the game in your area, and then call your cable company for the game available on pay-per-view. That's next Saturday here on ABC Sports. And 8:18 left to go here in Seattle. 21-7. Washington leads USC, and it's not over for the Trojans. They need to get something going right now, and they get it to the 35-yard line. Chris Miller makes the reception. Reggie Reeser and Iaiku Malloy were there on the tackle.
Good job by Brad Otten, the quarterback, sliding up inside the pocket. Good outside rush. Good throwing lane to step up into, and he did a nice job of finding the receiver downfield.
Sacks, fumbles recovered, interceptions for Washington. Their defense has been tough today against USC. Gain of 9 on that last play. 2nd and 1. Movement over there. Devers took a pop at Johnny McWilliams, the tight end, and Devers felt that McWilliams might have been moving.
Before the snap, full start, offense, 5 yards from the previous spot, still second down.
They can't get out of their way, Dick.
They cannot get out of their way. Johnny McWilliams is a senior, a real fine football player, and one thing they haven't done well today is to get the ball in his hands.
It's unbelievable. Came into this game 15 receptions.
Maybe went offside just to show the quarterback he's still
Maybe
there.
you're right. Maybe you're right. He's averaged over 18 yards a reception this year. Hasn't caught one pass. And the penalty story, here it is, folks. 2nd down and 6. Otten goes to Barnum. And Barnum's got the first down to the 42-yard line, where Ink Aliaga and Jerry Jensen make the tackle.
Bringing that back out of the backfield like that is tough for the linebackers. They're buzzing out. Plus, the linebackers are thinking of getting deep, so just in case Deshaun Johnson comes in their area and those big square ends that they like to run, then they run a little check down to the running back like that. Good call.
Well, Barnum's an unusual fullback. He's only carried the ball twice this year, but he's got 18 pass receptions. On 1st and 10, 42-yard line. Looking down the middle, and Keyshawn Johnson, the intended receiver, but good defense right there by Tony Parrish.
Well, you know, head coach Jim Lambright told us yesterday, he says Tony Parrish has been banged up. He's had a knee problem, but when he's healthy, he can make big plays. He's only a sophomore from Huntington Beach. He's a fine athlete, runs on the track team here, state champion in the triple jump in California. Good athlete, and he makes a big play.
You know, we mentioned Parrish from Huntington Beach, Reeser from Pasadena. Those are some Southern California guys playing up here in Washington. A lot of Californians. 2nd down and 10. Otten moves up in the pocket, does a nice job of that, but not a lot there to Barnum as David Ritchie came back to make the tackle.
You know, he really didn't want to throw the ball that time out there. They came with an outside blitz, but wide receiver Chris Miller going down on that AstroTurf, he looks for him, he slipped and fell. Moving the ball around, no fewer than 7 receivers have caught passes. Well, today, only 6 receivers have caught passes, and we've mentioned a number of times in the broadcast, the tight ends are the guys that are being left out of the game plan.
Well, on 3rd and 6, USC is 3 of 11 in 3rd down situations with 6:20 left to go. Maybe this will be a good time to find McWilliams, but Otten is going to be brought down by Suki Wiggs.
Suki is hot today.
Hey, we're going to think we're at Arkansas here pretty soon. They keep going, that Suki.
Suki, but he's playing hard. See, that time he was a relentless pass rusher. No, he got on, he was blocked, quarterback forced back up inside, and he came back in because he didn't quit on his rush. He makes the play. Here's Suki to the left side. Now here he comes back up in there, makes the play.
On 4th down, USC will go for it. 4th and 6.
No choice.
5:40 left to go. Yeah, he's got the first down. He's got a lot more if he wants it.
Run out of bounds, stop the clock.
And he does.
Yeah.
Otten out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Many times in a long yardage situation, 4th down like this, you will leave a spy man for the quarterback, but you don't think of Otten as a scrambling quarterback, so you go ahead and cover with everybody and take the chance of the quarterback scrambling to get the first down.
Dickey does a nice job of moving up in the pocket when the pressure comes.
He's got a lot of poise, this guy, and he's only a junior.
Well, his dad was and still is a high school coach in Tumwater, Washington. Originally went to Weber State, wasn't recruited by Washington University or Washington State out of high school. Transferred to USC, 1st and 10, 5:20. Otten will throw it down the side. Greenlaw was over there. The ball deflected. Nice job. Also, Tony Parrish might have got it first, and Greenlaw thought he had a pick.
I really believe that Otten spent too much time focusing his attention to the left all the way. That allowed Parrish, the safety playing in that free spot, to get a jump. He just watched the quarterback's eyes, and he took off sprinting to get there.
Otten didn't get to throw it much in the first half.
Let's just take a look. Let's watch Otten. He's looking right now. He turns left. And then that's right here at the top of your screen. You see Parrish broke as he turned his helmet, and he gets there just in time.
Well, Greenlaw thought he had an interception. 2nd down and 10. Blitz coming from the outside. Greenlaw was picked up. Otten throws on the run. Got Keyshawn Johnson. And he's brought down at the 15-yard line. I'll tell you, good athletic ability by Otten throwing on the run there.
Definitely. And plus, he knows that Keyshawn is going to be coming across. When you're rolling to your right and you get out there outside the pocket like that and you have a crossing pattern coming from behind you, it's a little easier to throw than if it's out in front of you. The thing you have to worry about is when you throw it back there that you aren't pulling a defender in as well.
Good arm, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he has a nice arm. Here's Johnny McWilliams. He's going out there. He see a decoy. He didn't expect to be in the pattern. Now to the scramble situation, he looks down and sees the ball complete downfield.
1st and 10, 16-yard line. Less than 5 minutes to go. Otten throwing the corner. Touchdown! Terry Barnum.
Good call. Very good call by Mike Riley. You get him down there in a situation where they're apt to be in man-to-man, and you bring the back out of the backfield on a wheel pattern. A linebacker has to pick him up. Obviously, he didn't do it.
First touchdown reception of the year for Barnum, the senior from Chatsworth, who came into this year with just 6 rushing attempts, but 50 career receptions. As Adam Rendon will attempt the point after with 4:44 left to go. And we have ourselves a football game. 21-14, Washington leads USC.
Advisory. There is a winter storm watch in effect for the entire area today. Seems like it's only going to get worse. And look, if you don't have to be out there, please get off the roads.
Oh, you didn't get tomatoes?
Nah, I've been in kind of a rut lately. You know, I thought I'd mix it up a little bit. Whopper, no tomatoes.
Change your pace.
Exactly.
Expecting a weave and you bob.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking zig, you zag.
Yeah.
You're a bold man.
The Whopper. It always tastes great because it's always fixed your way, with fries and a drink for just $2.99 every day at Burger King.
So, you out of your rut?
Believe I am.
You're rutless.
Enough with the ruts.
You've been ejected from the Rutmobile. No ruts, no glory.
Take cold. Take taste. Take smooth to the extreme. Bud Ice. Brewed to go beyond the others. To be an easier drinking ice. Take smooth to the extreme. Bud Ice.
No. 21-14, USC and Washington going to battle here, Dick, in the final 4 minutes and 44 seconds. We've got ourselves a football game now. As you see, Barnum on the 16-yard touchdown reception, 9 plays, 73 yards. Bastianelli to kick it off.
You know, we said, I think, a number of times during the broadcast, Raj, that they were dominating the game, but not getting enough points out of the domination.
Low line drive kick. Fielded by Neal. And Neal will just go down at the 30-yard line. Now, this is a big moment.
We're going to the touchdown play right now. You'll see the back in the backfield. Barnum right here, locked on one-on-one on the linebacker, Ink Aliaga. But He doesn't pick him up because he gets blocked right to the right side of your screen. Bang, he got picked right there. He doesn't get picked up, man to man. There's the touchdown. Come back and take a look at it again. You'll see Keshawn Johnson come down inside. He's moving in. Now he's just going to accidentally bump into Ink Aliaga. That stops him from getting in the coverage. Well-designed play if you get away with it. And you do. 99% of the time you get away with it.
Now this is a big moment for Washington and their senior quarterback Damon Heward. They need to put something positive together here. They've had a lot of 3 and outs.
They don't want to run out of
They
bounds.
don't want to run out of bounds as the clock though continues to run. They're going to say he went down before he got out of bounds as Matt Kennelly was over there to make the tackle. But you know, Dick, there are moments in everyone's career, and in the career of Damon Heward, there have been some big games. Notre Dame was one of those. You don't pin the blame on him, although that interception late in the game was devastating. But this could be something very positive right now. If he could just get this team down there, use the clock as we look at the total yards by quarter.
Look at here.
Yeah.
Now, USC just came on right here and has picked it up offensively to end up in the 21-14 situation.
On 2nd and 8, Heward's going to swing it out of the backfield. Neal will get it up to about the 34-yard line. Only a gain of about 2. Willie Lowry was there to make the tackle, and now they're faced with a big 3rd down call.
These calls as a coach in the box, and I can remember because I called all my own plays with the Eagles, these calls get tougher to make because you get so many thoughts that come through your mind. I've got to call something, yes, one we can complete and convert the first down. Can't be a high-risk play. I can't throw the interception. All these different things start coming into your mind, and sometimes it makes it a lot tougher to make the correct call.
Washington 7 of 15 on 3rd down. 3rd down and 7, just over 3 minutes to go.
Looks like they're going to blitz the outside back, or they do.
They pick it up. Pass, Coleman makes the catch. Yes, it's good. 1st down, Washington.
See, they came with a blitz outside. They brought Sammy Knight. So he ends up with one-on-one coverage. Coleman to the top of your screen. He's on Brian Kelly. He comes off to see Kelly's waiting for him. He's going to play him tough. Good throw, right where it had to be, gets the feet down. See, he couldn't play him any tighter than that in that situation, Raj, because he had no safety help. He gets that right foot down on the turf.
Hey, that was an NFL catch. He had both of them in.
Yeah, good job. Big, critical 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10, 43-yard line.
Nice play.
As Neal's dropped down back at the 42 by Sammy Knight.
Nice play by Sammy Knight. Yeah, good football player.
And a timeout's called by USC with 2:49 left to go. 21-14, Washington leads.
You will not be able to change the channel. You will not be able to catch the highlights on the evening news, enjoy it on tape delay, or adjust the contrast. Because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be led by Jason Kidd, Jimmy Jackson, Eddie Jones, Joe Smith, and Kevin Garnett. But it will not be followed by post-game, up-close, and personal interviews because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution is not fantastic. The revolution will not give front row seats to celebrities. The revolution will not refrain from chest bumping. The revolution will not begin with a laser show or a mascot who dunks off a small trampoline. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. And the revolution will not fail. For as it fulfills the unfulfilled promise of Hank Gathers and Ben Wilson, the revolution is about basketball. And basketball is the truth.
I am easily satisfied with the very best.
Well, it was just a couple of weeks ago. Notre Dame and Washington on October 7th, late in the game, trying to drive for a possible go-ahead field goal. The pass by Heward picked off by Allen Rossum, and he would take it all the way back for a touchdown, and that would seal the victory for the Fighting Irish in their come-from-behind victory over Washington, 29-21. And the story here today is, can Heward hold his team together in the final 2:49 on 2nd and 11? Heward looking up the sideline, throwing it downfield for Neal, and it's nearly picked off. Dalen McCutcheon was the man that had the position. Neal was the intended receiver, but that came dangerously close to being picked off.
Well, this guy here has the ability to pick it off. True freshman, has as much athletic talent as any corner they have, and slated to some way down the road be a first-round pick.
And we just saw Notre Dame defeated Boston College 20-10. Edwards with a touchdown run and a reception. Boy, what a good football player he is.
Look at those numbers: 17, 25, 209 yards. And, you know,
now another third down situation, Dick. 3rd and 11 with 2:41 left to go.
They've converted 5 of 10. That's 50%. It's a darn good job. But, you know, those stats don't mean anything now. Right now, for this situation, they're nothing to nothing.
Well, they're 5 of 10 on 3rd and long, which is 7 yards and over. As we take a look, Arizona State leads Oregon 21-17 in the 4th quarter. Boy, that would be a huge upset. Oregon and Washington play here next week, and Stanford over Oregon State today. As Stanford, Tyrone Willingham doing a great job his first year there.
Doing a good job.
UCLA and Cal just underway. Arizona, Washington
Did you see your Stanford buddy raise his hand there? You're standing over here. Brian Holloway here, an associate of ours.
I thought it was a tree standing behind me.
I heard he can eat pretty good. Is that right?
That's true. He can put it away. Here's the Washington schedule. See, they played a tough schedule. Ohio State. Army's a tough team to play. Back-to-back wishbone teams in Army and Oregon State. The Notre Dame. Big wins on the road at Stanford and Arizona.
They were big wins.
Oregon, UCLA, and Washington State. So it doesn't get any easier.
No. I tell you this, you better watch out for UCLA. I think they're an improving football team. In fact, John Robinson mentioned that yesterday. Terry Donahue does a great job, and he brings them along. He would have liked to have gotten them going a little bit sooner so they didn't have those 2 losses. But don't write them off. Remember how they finished the year last year, beating SC in the big game.
3rd down and 11, 2:41 to go. They're going to swing it out of the backfield to Neal. He's going to try to run outside, and a good tackle by Sammy Knight.
A good athlete has to make that play, and Sammy Knight demonstrates he's a good athlete. They had him out there in the 1-on-1. It's like a delayed sweep play.
His 12th tackle so far today for Knight, the junior from Riverside.
He and I think Brian Haas have both played very well defensively today.
USC has taken their 2nd timeout, so they're going to have 1 timeout left.
Yep.
.229 left to go, 21-14. Washington leads USC. And this day, we've seen the 2 quarterback.
Obviously, they have a little more confidence right now in Brad, or just the fact that he got him going a little bit in the 3rd quarter, and they said, hey, we're going to stay with him because they had him going.
College football on ABC Sports brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. De Beers, a diamond is forever. Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth. And Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth. But, you know, I was going to mention, Dick, we talked a lot this week about the 2 quarterback situation at USC, and now into the thick of the conference race, and when the games become so important, we're not surprised that John Robinson decided to go with 1 rather than both throughout the remainder of the game.
I think his decision was influenced by the momentum change in the 3rd quarter, and no sense in taking a chance and losing the momentum by sending somebody in the ball game that wasn't part of that momentum change. That's all. And they're both fine football players.
Now Prince to punt it at the 31-yard line. He's averaged 36 yards on 5 punts so far today. As Parker takes it at the 17, trying to get to the side. He is pulled down at the 20-yard line. Courtney, the backup quarterback, was down to make the tackle on the special teams.
Making ideas a reality. It's how you ended up with your own business in the first place. And it's why Hewlett-Packard has introduced the fast, reliable, affordable HP LaserJet 5L. and the colorful HP DeskJet 850 series with a real-life imaging system. Dependable, professional Hewlett-Packard printers. Printers that work.
2:18 left to go. 1st and 10, 21-yard line. Otten throwing downfield. Keyshawn Johnson just a little bit behind him, and he couldn't hold on to it.
Suki Wiggs, defensive tackle. Rushman that time was complaining to the referee. He really felt he was held. That's one thing these offensive linemen right now, they don't want to get called for holding. You've got to stay pretty much in a zone coverage in these situations, Roger. With the talent that they have on the field, the receiver position, you don't want to get locked up in any man unless it's man underneath with 2 deep free safeties. 2nd down. The catch is made at the 30-yard line. Greenlaw right there on the coverage. The reception by Larry Parker. Greenlaw has played very well today. For a former walk-on to come in and play against the talent that these people have in the receiver position and do so well. That time he wasn't backed up by a safety. He had him one-on-one with a help inside as a safety.
And he's really a safety, not a corner, but he's playing the corner. On 3rd down and 1, Otten thrown off balance, nearly picked off. 57, Fiala was there and almost had it.
Devers with the pressure. Jason Chorak with the pressure. Husky defense really showing the character that Randy Hart talked about yesterday, the defensive coordinator.
Fourth down and 1. 1:43 left to go. Sermons, he's going to be real close. He needed to get to the 31-yard line or just past it. And we'll see where they put the spot. It's going to be real close. Well, if time permits, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report featuring scores and highlights from around the country.
I tell you, that hole looked awfully big from up here in the press box, but Lawyer Malloy, that free safety, does he get up there and put his pads on you quickly? Wow, what a good football player. Oh, made it by a long ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Long
made
ways.
It by a heartbeat.
Yeah.
That's what
That's it. They've got him spread out with 3 wide receivers right now. Going to rush 4 down people.
1st and 10, 31-yard line. 1:37 left. 1 timeout left. Is Otten throws it to Parker. Greenlaw makes a tackle. That's close to another 1st down. And Dick, remember, a tie favors USC because they have a better overall record at this time.
They've got to get the ball into Sean Johnson's hands.
Otten throwing it down the near side. Up in the air, tipped around. Oh, goodness. Parker, the intended receiver, and Tony Parrish was there.
Did you see what he tried to do?
Yes, he tried to tip it back to Greenlaw.
Tony Parrish tried to tip the ball back as he batted it like playing volleyball to a defender so they could intercept it. Look at him. He's explaining that. What an intelligent move. You talk about thinking on your feet. Ball coming down. The ball is batted. There's Parrish, bats it. Now watch him go back. He's going to try to knock it back to him, see? He knew he was out of bounds. What a clever play, or an attempt to make a clever play by Tony Parrish. Fine job, young man.
2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers for USC. Swing it to Sermons out of the backfield. Reeser's got him, and he gets out of bounds just across midfield at the 49-yard line.
The offensive player wants to get out of bounds. The defensive player doesn't want to allow him to get out of bounds.
This kid wants the football right now. He is a big-time player, Jim.
Yeah, I think you put him in the slot and working down in that double coverage, that double zones, where it's a little tougher to double him up that way and work on that square in kind of stuff, or corner move on that safety. 3rd down and 3.
Who's in the slot to the near side. They swing it out of the backfield. The catch is made, and Terry Barnum runs it out of bounds at the 40-yard line with 1:05 to go.
See, in that kind of throwing, they're really not thinking about getting the ball downfield on one or two plays. They're trying to eat up the clock and move it down and get into where they're going to try to throw the 18 or 20-yard touchdown pass. They normally win when Kashan gets 100 yards, 10-1-1. And he's over 100 today. Maybe they'll get her done.
1st and 10, 40-yard line. Otten throws it underneath the Sermons. He races to the side, and he gets there at the 30. Ink Aliaga makes the stop.
They're doing a great job of clock management. Only 57 seconds left. One timeout left. They've got the ball down there. Where's now Raj on the 30?
Yeah.
See, they're not getting any pass rush from the Washington defensive left side. They're getting it out of the right side. That's pushing the quarterback over there, but there's no one in his face coming from the right side of the offensive line. Right side doing a good job of pass protecting.
Another 1st down, 1st and 10, less than a minute to go. Split backs. Blitz coming by Greenlaw. Catch is made. Wide open is Barnum down the sideline. Knocked out at the 6-yard line.
What they did is roll a weak corner blitz, okay? They rolled it and brought the safety over, but they don't have anybody to cover the second man out.
And a USC 1st down. 1st and goal to go at the Husky 5.
49 seconds left. 1st and goal.
They're going to question that call. They blitz the weak side corner. They roll the safety over. The safety can pick up the deep guy, but there's no one to cover the short guy. That's who he threw it to. Good job by Brad Otten.
1st and goal, 5-yard line. 49 seconds to go. Otten throws it to Barnum, and he is stopped at the 4-yard line by John Fiala. 42 seconds left to go. We got a timeout. Washington leads USC 21-14.
Making ideas a reality. It's how you ended up with your own business in the first place. And it's why Hewlett-Packard has introduced the fast, reliable, affordable HP LaserJet 5L. And the colorful HP DeskJet 850 series with a real-life imaging system. Dependable, professional Hewlett-Packard printers. Printers that work almost as hard as you do. HP printers. Just what you had in mind.
Oh, my God, I can't believe you're back so soon. Tell me about it. Knee surgery is not my idea of fun. You in pain? Not now. My doctor gave me Tylenol, extra strength. What, Tylenol works on that kind of pain? Here I am.
More than aspirin, more than ibuprofen. From post-surgical pain to headaches, doctors recommend Tylenol the most.
Good run, huh? Yeah, not bad. It's not over. Oh, man. Come on.
Shake it, no dandruff. You've got Selsun Power. Brush it, no flakes. You've got Selsun Power with Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it #1 over all leading brands. Dandruff problem? No way. You've got Selsun Power.
No trendy health club. No $60 shorts. No excuses. Speed Stick's no-nonsense formula gives you 110% protection. Like you, it never quits.
By minute.
College football on ABC Sports brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. 42 seconds left to go. 2nd down and goal from about the 2.5-yard line, Dick.
Mike Riley has done an awfully good job in directing the offense in this drive. And Jim Lambright over there standing Nick's Baird.
42 seconds left. Washington 21, USC 14. 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. Sermons, Barnum, the split backs. Otten to throw it. Deflected. Incomplete. Goodness, 4 players had a chance to get it there. Deke Devers looked like he got a piece of it.
He did, but I'll tell you this, Barnum coming out of the backfield was wide open for the touchdown. No one on him tight enough. See, they get in a slot. They get in a slot and bring those guys down tight. Here he is coming out of the backfield. All they have to do is get it to him. Look at that. Look at the room.
It was 21-0 at the end of the 3rd quarter. USC scored a touchdown on the first play of the 4th quarter. They've mounted this comeback. They've got it 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. throwing wide open touchdown, the first reception today for Johnny McWilliams.
I think they'll kick the ball, do you not, Rod? Here he is, right in the middle of your screen. They haven't thrown the ball to him all day. There he is. He just goes, reels in there. Obviously, they're in a zone. Someone's saying, hey, I didn't cover him. Should you have covered him?
And they're going to go for the point after. Adam Rendon will go for the point after, and it's good. And with 33 seconds to go, that ties it at 21. And the tie in this situation really helps USC because of their overall record.
Right. Yeah. Well, John,
they don't play Oregon. Yep. Keep that in mind. And Washington plays Oregon next week.
Well, you saw that time right there. Mike Berry, the offensive line coach, hugging those big linemen. They did an awfully good job of pass protecting in a very intense drive situation that time. To the left side of your screen, here he is. He'll come out. See, no one picks him up man to man. They're going to pick up that back. He just slips right in behind him. Awfully good call by Mike Riley. He lulled him to sleep. They did not throw the ball to Johnson all day. He came into the ball, McWilliams came into the game with 15 receptions. Didn't catch one today. He catches one in Portland.
They were just waiting for the right moment.
Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned, it was 21-0, and then USC scored on the first play of the fourth quarter. And Dick, we think back to a few weeks ago when we were here in the game against Notre Dame, the great comeback. It was 21-7, and Notre Dame came from behind. Now 33 seconds left. Let's talk a little strategy here. Washington with one timeout remaining.
Well, first off, you don't kick it off. You don't really kick it. You squib kick it down there, let it bounce down in there somewhere like that. But you never know when someone with the talent like they have back there can return it all the way. That's my basic thought.
Terry Holman, and
they don't have a good long-distance field goal kicker, so they've got to get a couple big plays to get it down there close enough. And there's only one timeout left.
Bastianelli
they
kicks
kick it off.
And Coleman will take it, drops it. And he falls on it at the 10-yard line.
They kicked it off knowing he was going to drop it.
Well, they kicked it off maybe because Leon Neal wasn't back there.
Yeah.
You know, Neal's been bothered by a bit of a leg cramp and was returning kicks and punts earlier in the game. And so now with 30 seconds left and one timeout, Washington's got a monumental task at hand.
They do. And I'll tell you this. USC in that fourth quarter became the USC they were prior to the Notre Dame game.
I'll tell you, they were like a fighter that was nearly out on the ropes, and then, like, thinking back to Rocky.
Knocked him out in the fourth, or knocked him out in the 16th.
Came back and fought back and got themselves back into this game.
Boy, what that can do for a football team, Roger, from a mental standpoint. They were not mentally in this game until they got it going in the fourth quarter. They hung in there.
With 30 seconds to go, they'll run Neal right up the middle to the 15-yard line, and that draws the boos from the Husky fans here on homecoming weekend, and the clock running. Richard Thomas is jumping around, and now they finally call a timeout.
Yeah. Jim doesn't have much choice. You imagine what would happen if he tried something that was intercepted down here, and, you know, and they ran it and won the football game. Then they would really boo. They'd say, what did you throw the ball for? Boy, Jim, nobody is immune in the head coaching profession to situations like this. You know, and I've said a long time, especially being in the booth, coaches have, not to their fault, lose more games they should have won than win games they should have lost. You know, and they dominated this game so heavily in those first three quarters, but they just didn't get enough points out of that domination.
As we check out the ABC Sports Board, and 15 seconds remain here. That was the final timeout for Washington, and I'll tell you, it looks like the good move right now, staying with Otten instead of alternating the quarterbacks in the second half.
He did a good job, but you know who else did a good job? His offensive linebacker. They gave him pass protection. You know, they gave him time to throw the football, and when he was flushed to the right, easy throw for him.
And Arizona State and Oregon battling late in the game, 28-24. Sun Devils lead it. And Stanford, a winner over Oregon State today. So this is going to put a different twist on things. As UCLA has jumped out on top of Cal. So second down and 5, no timeouts remaining. Neal, and he gets it up near the 20-yard line. And the clock will just run out, and that's the way it will end here at Husky Stadium on a homecoming weekend. Washington, who built up a 21-0 lead, sees the Trojans come back with 21 fourth-quarter points. And this thing ends up a 21-21 tie. And the genuine Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Sammy Knight from USC, who had 11 tackles today, and Leon Neal from the University of Washington with 143 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. And celebrating its 25th year of sponsorship, Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. For Jack Arute and Dick Vermeil, I'm Roger Twibell. Thanks for being with us. 21-21 the final from Seattle.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
Want to help a child in need? Call your local volunteer center or place of worship and ask how you can help. Children first.
Sunday, we're putting the bite on having a good time, so get into the groove and crash our party when you catch 1 full hour of America's Funniest Videos. Then, Raquel Welch has the scoop.
Clark Kent is Superman.
Will her kryptonite kiss destroy the Man of Steel? Sunday on ABC. It's Lois and Clark, following America's Funniest Videos.